Now, the most exciting colors in color TV. Captured by Zenith in the biggest color picture Zenith has ever made. This is Zenith's new handcrafted 25-inch rectangular color TV. Its new sunshine color tube, shaped like a movie screen, has a new rare earth phosphor for greater picture brightness with redder reds, brighter greens, and more brilliant blues. A giant 25-inch picture, yet the tube is 4 inches shorter, fits a new beautifully slim cabinet. Inside, the famous Zenith handcrafted color chassis with no printed circuits, no production shortcuts. Built better for greater dependability and fewer service problems. It's the ultimate in color TV. Available with Zenith Space Command remote control tuning in the elegance of ultra-slim, fine furniture cabinetry. No wonder Zenith is America's largest selling TV. At Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC. The General Electric Fantasy Hour. An hour-long adventure musical for you and your family. Presented by the General Electric Company, makers of world-famous portable home appliances, clocks, health, beauty, and floor care products.
So good. We're back from the break here, sitting around the fire, enjoying our hot chocolate, Rachel's cookies.
Oh yeah, it's great. They came out good. I like these.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, sometimes when I make the snickerdoodles, they always get hard, but when you make the snickerdoodles, soft.
That's right.
I don't understand why. I don't get it.
You know, you just have to have that touch.
Yeah.
You gotta do it the right way.
Like
Otherwise,
putting enough
it
eggs
is
in
just...
it.
I would hope.
Is that a problem?
How many are you putting?
I'd have to look at the recipe. I usually put about a half of everything that a recipe calls for.
That's
I'm not
probably
gonna
your
make
problem.
a whole sheet of cookies.
Why
Come
not?
on. So who am I making them for?
You.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need a whole sheet of cookies.
You're not gonna eat them in one sitting.
No,
Put them in a cookie
whatever.
jar.
Whatever, Russ, whatever. So we are back here with the second half of our Shelf Life Holiday Spectacular, where we will continue with the classics, as you found out in the first part here, where we were opening up the presents. Rachel, what are we considering for the shelf in this part of the episode? Hang on, she's got to get serious. You get like you're about to like announce the. I know. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
We are diving, well, I guess we are getting molded into clay for the 1964 Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation.
Seminal classic from 1964, the Rankin and Bass stop-motion special. I mean, we're doing heavy hitting Christmas stuff
Heavy hitters.
this year,
That's
Rachel.
right.
I figure give you a little bit here of where Rudolph comes from, because Rudolph himself, Rachel, one household name for sure. Pulling
Of
up the chair
course.
for Rudolph.
As long as he's a little quieter, that nose does make a high-pitched noise.
Yeah, that's true. That is. But I feel like if I ostracized him from the table, that I'm no better than these
you'd
shithead
fit in
reindeer.
because everybody else did the same thing.
Everyone in this special movie, whatever you want to call it, is a dick. Every
Seriously.
single character is a prick.
We'll get into it.
So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, though, is in fact a corporate shill. He is nothing but a
Unsurprising.
mascot. He's nothing but a capitalist pig. So,
Wow.
do you know any of the history of Rudolph, Rachel?
Apparently I don't. I know of this movie and I know the song.
Okay, so let me explain a little bit of where he came from before we dive right into it, just so that you understand where Rudolph
Kevin
comes
is cleaning
from.
his
Because
glasses. He is getting ready for this.
yes, I normally don't wear the glasses, but I had a long day at work, so and I figured we're doing like a story time. It's like Christmas by the fire. You put the glasses on. I got my
Oh, that's
slippers
right.
on. The robe is on.
Get nice and cozy.
I got my scotch or whatever. I don't know what people drink
Eggnog?
around
I have
the fire.
eggnog.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. Put a little scotch in your eggnog.
I mean, booze it
So-
up, right?
In the 1930s, Montgomery Ward. Rachel, you remember Montgomery Ward? It was a department store.
I mean, I wasn't there, but yes.
Montgomery Ward might have existed when we were like toddlers, I think.
Probably. I know what you're talking about. I've heard of
Feel
that
like
before.
Mom has taken us inside of a Montgomery Ward
We
before.
must have like a major city that had it or something still.
Yeah. This store did a annual tradition. They would do a thing where around the holidays, they would give out Christmas coloring books as a way to kind of boost people to come into the store, right? Like bring your kids, we'll give them a coloring book, you shop for your shit, you lazy fucking bum and whatever. So
Wow. I mean, they're going to the store to shop.
that's
I mean,
that's true. That's true. See, folks at home, this is why you don't get anything special for the holidays at these stores anymore, because you're doing all your shopping
No.
online. So you're
I remember they used to give out ornaments. They would give out like fun drinks and stuff during like Black Friday. They'd give you like
Everyone's getting loose at the
specials.
line
Like
at
if you'd be like
Walmart.
the first however many people in the store, you'd get like some prizes and
And my mom will talk about the good old days when they would give away stuff all the time and you were waiting to
Yeah.
go in.
now they don't do anything. They're like, we don't even care that you're here. We don't care that you're here. You could
Why
have
aren't you
bought
buying this online?
Nobody even goes anymore. It's no fun.
So this was something that they did during the 30s, though, and they tasked this guy in marketing, Robert L. May, to
Okay.
come up with something for the holidays. And he was based in Chicago, and I guess Montgomery Ward's headquarters in Chicago. I don't know if it's headquartered in Chicago or not. Maybe it was, because like Sears, isn't Sears part of Montgomery Ward? Wasn't it? Hang on, I gotta
Oh
look
yeah,
this up.
Sears Montgomery Ward.
Sears Montgomery Ward. It was what it was
Yes.
called, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
that's
so-
probably more so why I'm like it's clicking. It's clicking
Yeah,
now.
you're thinking because now you're like Sears.
think.
You're like because Sears is based or was because I don't know if that exists anymore. Was based out of Chicago, so maybe like that's why Montgomery Ward also based out of Chicago. I don't know.
Oh, probably. I mean, if they were
So-
like partners or something.
His story, if you believe it, and it sounds like one of those like Stanley came up with it because there was a spider on the wall type of thing. His office overlooked Lake Michigan, and it was a foggy morning. And he thought, I was gonna do Stan Lee for him. Oh, I got an idea. What if we had like a reindeer that had some sort of illuminated light to get through the fog for Santa?
Did he see it on the Sears Tower? Because doesn't that have a red flashing light on it?
It does now. I don't know if it did in 1939.
Oh,
Because
okay.
there wouldn't have been airplanes necessarily flying over it.
I guess you're right, but maybe they put the red Rainier light on there now. I guess for the planes.
You're right, 'cause
all I kept
Sears-
thinking was, like,
Sears
oh yeah,
Tower,
Sears would have
sure.
had that on there.
Yeah.
The Sears Tower. Yeah. I mean, it's not that anymore, but same
was,
same
yeah.
building.
So he came up with the idea of Rudolph. At first, the people at Montgomery Ward did not want to do that because a red-nosed person, for those not in the know of colloquialism, at least in the United States, a red-nosed person is an indication that they're kind of an alcoholic or a drunkard. So they were like, we don't want like a drunk reindeer. And then, so they like kind of were like, maybe go back to the drawing board. He had someone kind of illustrate, and I wish I remembered the name of the person that he had to illustrate it. Denver Gillen, his friend that was an illustrator. He drew up reindeer, and then when he kind of pitched the idea with like the drawings to go along with it, then the Montgomery Ward people were like, okay, this works. So he wrote the story about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Robert L. May, and then it became this Montgomery Ward book. That's the origin of Rudolph. He's a mascot for a department store.
Love it.
And he sort of
guiding
remained
you to deals.
I mean, he remained a mascot for Montgomery Ward. I bet you, even Rachel, as kids, you could probably get stuffed Rudolph and stuff probably from the special from like Sears or whatever, because he was the mascot for a long time. And then eventually they took the story, because it's written like 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, this story. Mm-hmm. They took that and then they made it into a song. And then the song gets covered by Gene Autry, and that's the one is the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, with like that crooner voice in it. Right, that's the famous song. So because that song becomes so famous, becomes like a top of the Billboard charts and shit, then they're like, well, we're looking for holiday specials to do, and Rankin and Bass, who is trying to perfect this stop motion animation, it's not new, because like King Kong had stop motion in it, right? But doing a whole like special that way, they're like, maybe we can do like something like this for the stop motion animation. Decide like, let's try with this based off of Rudolph, because it was like famous. He's famous at that point, right? Rudolph is a fixture of American Christmas. Right. So you could do something with him and it will be known throughout the land. So Rankin and Bass started putting this thing together. They get Burl Ives and they get all of this stuff, and then General Electric is the sponsor that kind of pays for this, or pays in part.
All the stores are getting in on this one.
Well, this is how the specials were made back then, right? So
sure.
General Electric was the show's sponsor, and they had a little bit of like producer parts to it, of course. So they put all this together. It comes out in 1964. It's the first year. Rachel, let's get right into it here with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because this thing is long.
It's longer than you think it is. It like is
way
long.
Longer than you think it is. Stay tuned to the end, folks. Okay, so it starts with these newspapers. It's saying how cold and snowy everything is.
This is so weird. I forgot this is how this opens.
With like live action newspapers.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening? This is like depressing. Like, is this what they're... But I'm like, oh, but I get it. Because it's like what's actually happening in the world. I got you. Because it's like a lot of storms and,
Well, it's setting them... It's setting the mood, right? Because it's setting up that this is like a snowy Christmas
It's the
time.
Snowiest, blistering, cold, whatever. Like, there's just snow everywhere. It's just...
It sort of feels weird, though, because Sam the Snowman is telling us the story of Rudolph. So why do we need to know it was...
time, right?
No, so it's not the same time at all. So why do we have to know?
Wait.
So it does come off as like, wait, why are we doing it this way? But whatever.
Oh, you know why? Because he's saying that was the big snowstorm. That was in the news. That was what was happening. And this is the story that also goes along with that storm that I just showed you on the news.
I suppose he comes off kind of like Abe Simpson, where he just brings it up a couple times and he's like, have I ever told you the story? Yeah. That's kind of how it's told. I think I got a newspaper here. It says about
look at
storm.
Talking about those winter whiteouts. Oh, I remember this story about a young buck and with a red nose.
So we get. Poor Burl Ives. He doesn't even know what's coming. We get everyone's favorite Burl Ives, who is playing Sam the Snowman. Which
KFC guy as a snowman. I mean, he's got the same bearded mustache.
Yeah. Rachel described Sam the Snowman. Yeah, he looks a little Colonel
so
Sanders
he is a
in the face.
snowman. Like, we're not joking. It is actually an actual snowman, right? He's got a little green plaid vest on with a pocket watch. He's got a little bowler hat on with some, holly in there. It's not like a typical snowman face. So if you're thinking of Frosty the Snowman, it's not Frosty the Snowman's face. I think there's still two coal eyes, but he's got like handlebar mustache and then like the pointy
a
chin
devil's
beard.
goatee.
Yeah, the devil's goatee. That's what it is. It's all white because he's snowman. He's all made out of snow. That's what he's wearing. So, and he's got a little like bow tie and white button down. But that's our little snowman, man.
Yeah. Yes. He's got a nice vest on, a nice bowler hat, a parasol for some reason.
He does have a parasol. I forgot he had a parasol. I mean, I guess it's like the weather conditions. I don't know.
He's kind of like the Penguin from Batman.
Oh, he's the Penguin now. All right. I mean, he just kind of waddle around.
A little penguin-y. Okay, let's talk about this man, this snowman. So he introduces himself. He's, I mean, Rachel's popped herself.
Christmas seals.
Yes, for some reason there are Christmas seals.
Well,
is that a pun?
I don't. It must be.
Like, why are there Christmas seals? There's just these seals in the background, and they're just playing with presents.
He calls them Christmas seals.
He does call them Christmas seals. So he's talking about how they, it's Christmas time, and we almost miss Christmas. Burlive's a country singer who's most famous for this, of course, but he was a country singer in the 30s, 40s, 50s. It's Christmas Town. That's where he lives. That's where we are. Or the North Pole. But he likes to call it Christmas Town. So
fair.
there's this Christmas tree forest. The seals, of course, are there for some reason. And then, because Santa is the dictator of the North Pole,
oh my God,
he lives in a fucking castle.
A massive castle. He lives in a massive... It's not a cute, like... Oh, this is cute Santa's cottage with his little, workshop. No, this is freaking castle.
Now, he is a German man, Santa. So, I mean, castle is not necessarily out of the question.
No, I mean, that makes sense, yeah.
But when I picture Santa's house, or workshop, as you called it, I picture it being almost like... things. Well, yeah, that's my point, though. It's like a little village.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got like a village because he's got all his workers,
Maybe his house is a little larger. Maybe he's got like a nice McMansion up there.
Oh, yeah,
but I picture like a big log cabin type of thing.
Cozy cabin.
I don't picture a castle.
No, the castle got me. I was like, oh, I don't remember it being a castle, but okay.
All right, Santa. I think you're showing off a little bit here.
But I gotta say, we're not gonna get there in for the next minute. But why doesn't he have like a stable for the reindeer? Why are the reindeer giving birth in a cave? So you have this giant castle.
I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that.
This is my problem. I'm like, you have this giant castle, and you don't have a stable for your reindeer.
Okay. As
Rude.
We're going to find out, though, Rachel, Santa's an asshole.
He kind of... I don't think he likes his job. I don't think he wants to do this anymore.
No, I think he's fucking miserable. I think he's waiting for...
miserable.
I think he wants Tim Allen to shove him off the roof.
I really
because
do.
He really needs a replacement, or at least a vacation. Because he does
he
seem very put upon. But I did not think about that. The reindeer are not in... Well, the reindeer are almost independent. They're almost...
Yeah,
they
they kind
work
of
for
are.
Santa. It's not that they're Santa's reindeer. It's that they work for him.
I guess that's kind of true.
They're like contractors.
It's like, that's the family, down the lane. He works for me once a year.
Yeah, that's what it is. This whole mythology in this special is so fucking weird. It's so
odd.
bizarre. It's like, how the fuck did they come up with this? So Santa.
Now I gotta say though, it looks cute. It's very cute, and it's like I gotta give him props.
Style?
Yeah, the style's cute. It's different, so it's kind of fun.
I like it. I like it in this. We've seen all the Rankin and Bass stuff. This is probably their best looking one in terms of like the stop motion and you're right, the design of everything. Santa's very cute. The reindeer are cute. The elves I hate. But we'll get to that. Sam the Snowman is great. You could get me a little Sam the Snowman Funko Pop or something like that. That'd be a good thing to bring out. Some of these other Rankin and Bass shows, I think Santa Claus is Coming to Town is about on par. Some of these other ones though are not nearly as good, like design wise. I don't know why, because you think they didn't think that they were going to become iconic, so they just threw them away. But Yeah, I can't remember what your point was. Oh, you were just saying that it looks nice.
I was just saying, I gotta give them props for, the way they had to make it and design it and shoot it and all of that. I mean, it's still really fun to, like, the artwork.
Well, even, like, Sam... Like, even Sam is, like... They clearly are either padding the runtime or they're just showing off the animation, because he kind of, like, just scoots along on his big snowman butt. And it's just for, like, 10 seconds. He's just moving around the ground, and he just goes, Christmas air. And it's like, can we get to the story? But I think if they're just showing off the animation, and or they're like, we got to get this thing up to 50 minutes.
Oh, yeah, sure. Right.
Some of the animation, too, reminds me of South Park, because clearly the South Park guys influenced a lot in their Christmas stuff by Rankin and Bass animation.
Sure. They're
making
sense.
Fun of it, or they're homaging it. So a lot of... I noticed that, too, here and there. Since we just did the season of South Park. Go look in the archive. There's a Christmas episode in there for you.
Enjoy.
We get Santa eating dinner.
Skinny Santa.
He is skinny. He's usually skinny, apparently.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out, is he skinny because he's so stressed out all the time and he, like, doesn't eat well? Or is he skinny just because
sad thought.
He's a lean Santa? I kind of like the idea that he's, like, lean, except for Mrs. Claus keeps fattening his ass up for Christmas.
She goes, how dare you not be a fat Santa for Christmas?
You need to be a fat Santa for the children.
I mean, that's what she does. Who's ever heard of a skinny Santa?
Who ever heard of a skinny Santa? Which makes me think he's not the first Santa. Like,
that's true. What if he's not? He's just in a long line of Santas, so he is waiting for his, like, next person to come and take over.
So Mrs. Claus, a chubby chaser, trying to fatten Santa up here. We need you to be fat, Nick. You need
to
be
eating.
Fat.
Keep eating.
Better start eating, kid. But she is also an old German woman, so of course Santa can weigh 500 pounds, and she'd be like, eat, you need to eat more.
More food. Big bones. Strong.
So we go back to Sam after this little slice of life, and Sam is like, no, don't worry about that. He'll fatten his ass up. He'll be a fat Santa for you in no time.
Yeah.
He mentions, and again, because he had already mentioned how, this seems like it's going to be a good Christmas, but those storms. And then he mentions it again. So he just wants to tell this story. And he's looking for an excuse for the audience member, I guess, to be like, storms, eh, Sam? Oh, did I mention storms? Well, let me tell you.
Let me tell you that story I was talking about 2 minutes ago.
It's like,
did I mention Rudolph? Oh yeah, that's the story I was mentioning before. Rudolph was in that story.
It's like in The Simpsons when Marge keeps mentioning her uncle that, like, shot up a place, and she like mentions it like 3 times but won't elaborate on it at all. It's like, do you want us to ask you the question, Mom? Sam the Snowman says that Rudolph pulled them through, and he's like, wait, you don't know Rudolph? Even though the line in the song, which is what they based this show off of more than anything.
Yes.
Because I guess they said that they didn't have a copy of the book. How do you not get a copy of the book? But they based it off of the song more than the book. So they said that it says in the line that Burl Ives is about to sing the most famous reindeer of all.
That's right.
This is my problem with the song lyrics, Rachel, because he goes through the list of the reindeer, and then he goes, but do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Well, if he's the most famous, how would I not know him, but I know all the other ones? Something's missing.
I think it is this old man mentality. Do you recall that famous reindeer? I gotta tell you the story, though. I know you do, but let me tell you the story. From, like, my perspective, I guess.
All right.
Like, this part of the story, but let me show you this side to the story.
Okay, you know what? I will allow that. I will allow that because it allows for fucking griffins and islands of misfit toys and a side plot with elves and an abominable snowman, because it's all through this senile old snowman's point of view. So, you know what? You've made an improvement on this for me, Rachel.
Thank you. I've done it again.
So he starts singing, Rachel, you've done it again. He starts singing the Rudolph song. We go through the real opening credits. It's all on these white Christmas trees. Did you notice that they got the trademark date wrong?
No, did they really?
Yeah. So they put the Roman numerals backwards, so it says like 1200, the year 1264, or the year 1164. It does not say 1964.
Oh, that's funny.
Because it says like MCM or something. Like they have it backwards, so it's raw.
Oh my gosh.
Like I looked at it and I was like, something doesn't look right there.
I wonder if they thought they maybe, well, and they probably were rushing through those because it looks like they had to actually, yeah, maybe they were just rushing through it because it looks like they kept having to pull out like all right, now put in the next one. Okay, now write it really quick.
No,
now put that one there.
I think what they did, because it's like a pan shot over all of these. So I think it's actually that they set up like a scene, like a diorama, and then they just moved the camera to go scene to scene. So they could have put some over.
So they just wrote it wrong then.
That's what I think, yeah. So I did also like that they put the producer credit after the director, because you goddamn right Rankin is getting the final producer credit on this and not the director. So we learned that it's a couple years before the big snow, and Donner has become a proud papa.
Yes, the Donner house.
To Burlives. Yes, the Donners.
The Donner cave, I should say.
The Donner cave, you're right.
The Donner cave. Down the road, the Donner cave. We have a new baby.
Yes, there's a new baby. Donner is a huge asshole. Donner is an awful parent.
Yeah.
He is. He's such a jerk. He's the kind of dad that, like, was on the football team in high school, and you better fucking believe that Rudolph is also going to be the quarterback, because I was the quarterback, and son, you're also going to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
That is Donner.
He really is. It's kind of sad. Because you don't want him to be, but you're like, oh, but you're, like, mean dad. You're mean dad.
Donner, who talks a lot like this. Well, actually, all the Reindeer talk like that.
They all sound like they belong on a radio or something.
Well, because they are. They're all radio people.
Oh, well, that would make sense then.
That's why they talk like that.
Fair enough.
Paul Kligman is doing Donner and Comet, and that's why they kind of have the same voice.
Okay.
Because they thought that would come through for voice acting better, which it sort of does. The voice track, the soundtracks on this aren't the best. You can tell it's old. You can tell it's almost like a radio show.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're all doing work. They're all doing a good job of like doing voices.
Oh, of course.
For the most part. Rudolph is smart because he already knows Mama, Papa, or whatever he said.
Yep,
and
he knows his own name.
He knows his name, so he's obviously smart. They are a little disturbed, though, because in place of the typical reindeer nose, which is a regular nose on a deer, a black dot in the animation style here. Instead of that, it is a bulbous red
He's got a light bulb on his nose.
Yes.
He's got a red light bulb as a nose.
And sometimes it blinks. Well, when you say he's got his beak blinks like a bacon, as Donner puts it.
And it makes an awful squealing sound.
Awful sound effect. Very unsettling.
I've always hated this. I remember not liking it as a kid, and I remember I still go, ugh. It is still like it's piercing.
Yeah, it's a piercing noise. So like, I don't know if they did that on purpose to make that also part of like why everyone's put off by him, or
I'm wondering, is it actually making that noise, or is it just for us when it glows?
That's a great question. Folks at home, let us know.
Because nobody complains about the sound of his nose. I'm a little concerned by this whistling, squealing sound of his nose.
I mean, Fireball looks like he saw death when it happens in the reindeer games, but I've always assumed, because like Comet's like, I always assumed it was because of the noise. But now that you mention it, I don't know. It's a great question.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's like you have a red, bright, like beacon of a nose.
So as he says this, Santa, like a psychopath, visits the Donners to meet Rudolph.
I don't think he's
Because
being
if
a
he's
psychopath.
All right, no, Rachel. It's because.
What do you
all right,
mean?
here, it's because of the way he says it. It's not because like, oh yes, I'm gonna go visit my friend Donner's baby. It's because he
Right.
goes, oh, I've got to inspect him because it's a newborn reindeer and he's gonna
Because
pull
he's gonna
my
be on my
sled one day.
team. You're
Yeah.
right. It is a little weird.
It's like
Yeah.
why? It's like, oh, let me check in on the newborn calves so that I get a look at them.
Well, I mean, maybe he's just kind of. Do you think it's a joke? No, I mean, I don't think it's a joke.
Yeah,
Actually,
I don't think it
part of
is,
me
but I
goes,
mean,
oh,
you
he's like,
could-
he's like, well, if he's gonna be a part of my team, I gotta come say
Yes.
hi, you know. But he's also Donner's person.
For those of you that want to believe the best of Santa here, you could take it as him being like, oh yeah, Donner, I gotta check out, I had to come because if he's gonna be on the team, where in reality he's like, he brought over a gift for Rudolph, maybe like
He's like, I've been breeding you guys. I gotta make sure this is the best like year ever. Yeah, I think he probably would have brought like lovely things,
Yeah, he doesn't bring anything. And I
He
do
comes
enjoy
looking like a red Sherlock Holmes. This is what you're gonna say? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to
I
steal that
didn't
from
have
you.
it in my notes or anything. I just looked at the hat and I was like, he looks kind of like Sherlock Holmes. But so Rachel popped me.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to
I-
take it from you.
No. I'm glad you said it because all I was going to say is I like Santa's off-season outfit, but I didn't
Oh, it's
have anything lined up
fantastic.
for what it looked like.
He kind of looks like he's gonna go ride a horse, though. So maybe he
Yeah,
did. Maybe he rode a
it's-
horse over here.
Maybe he did. They don't ever show horses, but it wouldn't put it
They
past
don't,
him.
unless he has another reindeer that he just rides around on the off season.
Maybe he has an ostrich that he rides around like the cowboy.
Maybe it's the seals.
Does he also have an army of snowmen? Like, is Sam... Because if Mr. Burns is to be believed, an army of snowmen could be protecting Santa in the North Pole. So is Sam just like a
probably.
retired general from the army of snowmen?
Maybe that's what it is. And there's like this wall of snowmen, so you can't get into like the zone.
Into Christmas Town? Now
That's
that's a
right.
sequel that I would want to see.
It's not actually
Where,
a wall. It's just it's just snowmen lined up.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And a Loki-esque character, I don't know, we could come up with something, is trying to get into Christmas Town.
Yeah.
What's like
no, that makes sense.
what's like a holiday that could
like a Jack
drive
Frost
like a Jack Frost type character.
or like the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, the Easter
trying to
Bunny
think-
is the villain.
Or like just like a Jack Skellington. It's like the Pumpkin King would come.
Yeah, something,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, and Sam Snowman is like, the old wise advisor for the army of snowmen. What the hell did we get on this for? Okay, so anyway,
No, I'm picturing catapults and you catapult the snowmen themselves over. They're like fighting.
folks at home,
The seals get it on this. They're like
We're-
sliding towards
Oh my
everybody
God, I
with
love
balls
it.
and they're like shooting stuff at
well,
them.
later on, I am going to propose something that a lot of people probably won't like, but it's doable. Folks at home, get on this. This would be an excellent short film.
Someone do a stop motion of this because I think it would be fantastic.
Santa goes to say hi to Rudolph, and Rudolph, because he is smart, already knows Santa's name too. He's like, Santa, and Santa's like, oh, he's smart too. So the light goes off, his nose goes off, and Donner's like, I wouldn't worry about this, Santa. He'll grow out of it. And Santa's like, well, he damn well better, or he'll never be on my team.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
That's what he says. Now, if I'm Santa, I'd be like, well, maybe we need to get him checked out by the North Pole doctor or vet or something like that. Because, this is a bit strange that he has a red nose.
It is weird. Like, why do you have a red, shiny nose? What's going on here?
But instead, Donner and Santa are both just like, no, he'll grow out of it. We'll see what happens.
Right.
So Santa, of course, is being a prick about this because he's not very accepting of Rudolph being different. Right now, only Rudolph's mom is like, I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah, she's like, nah, he's fine. He's healthy. He's smart. It's fine. It's just cosmetics.
We get a pretty bad song here about jingling balls.
Jingle.
The only cute part is Rudolph tries to put on the reindeer harness, and it's way too big for him because it's Donner's. This goes on for fucking ever. This song, I felt like, went on forever. This special, folks, if you've never seen this, or if you haven't seen this in a long time and your mind only remembers it as like a kid, this special's 50 minutes long, approximately. And there are 9 songs. 9.
Are there 9
songs?
Oof.
There are not 9 songs in your typical Disney movie, I wouldn't think. So there is a song every 5 minutes. And they go on for quite a while. So Santa does this. He sings about him being Kris Kringle, and then he leaves. I liked the animation on Rudolph wagging his tail.
It's
saying
cute.
bye to Santa. Thought that was kind of cute.
Yeah.
So Donner is despondent that Santa won't let him fly.
Yeah, he's like, he'll never make the team.
He's like, he's never going to make the team now. So I understand. Rachel, I can. Here's how I will defend Donner a little bit here, because Donner, like we've said, prick, just a total prick.
Yeah.
He's concerned about his son's future.
He is concerned about his son's future. He really is. Yeah.
Because Donner thought right away, like, okay, something with the nose, and then Santa confirms it by saying, well, hopefully he does grow out of it, Donner. So now Donner's like, shit. We have to hide this because Santa is going to penalize Rudolph because he's got this nose. So in reality, this is all Santa's fault. Because if he would have accepted him, Donner wouldn't be a jerk about
big
the
deal.
nose.
He's got a red nose.
It kind of reminds me.
But Donner, I think it's also his reputation. So it's not just Rudolph.
Fair.
And
fair.
his future, it's also Donner's going, well, he's my son, and it's my reputation on the line here.
Yes. Self-respect.
And if he doesn't make the team, like...
Yes. So I get the
boys are going to make fun of me. Like,
it's a very interesting parallel. Like, folks at home, don't do this with your kids. Like, this should be kind of a thing where parents could see this and be like, oh, maybe I've been a little hard on the boy. Like,
yes.
Because don't be Donner, because he's kind of a jerk.
Don't be a Donner.
Yeah, don't be a Donner. That can be a T-shirt. Why not? It's just Donner's face with a big no sign around it.
What's his mom's name?
I don't remember.
Okay, hold on a second.
Clarice is the doe.
I think Oh, yeah. So it's Clarice, right? No. That's the girlfriend. Because it was so-and-so and Clarice. What the hell is her name? Mrs. Donner.
They don't have a name?
It's just Mrs. Donner.
No.
Don't be Mr. Donner, be
they
Mrs.
Do.
Like, they don't even have a name for her.
Yeah,
it's
they just call her Mrs. Donner. Wow. I don't like that.
I don't either.
Don't like that at all.
They could have at least given her a name. I was wondering why I couldn't think of it. But all I was going to say was, like, don't be a Donner, be a her. And now I'm like, but she's just Mrs. Donner. And now I'm, like, even more mad. Darn it. I mean, if you want to believe the fact that the reindeer who have antlers in the wintertime are the females, she's the one in the damn team, not him. She's actually Donner.
Why do you say that? Because the reindeer don't have antlers?
Female reindeers will have the antlers in the winter.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that. I mean, the animation is such where the male reindeers are darker brown and the does are like a lighter tan. That's how you can tell them apart.
In this.
Yeah.
Well, and the male reindeer in the wild will use their antlers to impress their mates, and in the fall they no longer have use for them. So they shed them before Christmas.
Right.
The females will retain their antlers until after they give birth to calves in the spring.
Oh.
So they're the ones that have antlers. And so she's the one that's actually on the team, and she's the true Donner.
Oh boy. Well, we found a way to get this into the 2020s. It's an all-female reindeer crew. It's like Ghostbusters 2016.
Well, I mean, their last name is Donner. Maybe that's what it is, you know?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, answer the call. Melissa
Really
McCarthy
not.
can play
I mean,
Donner.
I think they could do a fine job without making it that bad, okay? You're talking about making it a piece of shit when it could be kind of cute with all, like, the girls, like, lining up and being on the team.
Oh, somebody would call that woke in a heartbeat,
Oh,
and then
of
it would
course they
become
would,
a political
100%.
message.
I'm just saying, I don't see a problem with it.
No, it is stupid, though, that they don't give her a name. It's
Yeah, I don't understand that.
But that's the 60s for you.
So I
Fight
think
the
in my
power,
head,
Mrs.
his
Donner.
first name isn't Donner. It's the last name. It's Mr.
Yes.
and Mrs. Donner.
Mr. and
It's
Mrs.
the
Donner.
last name.
Yeah, he is Rudolph Donner.
Yes, that's correct.
So Donner decides that he needs to make a fake nose covering out of the dirt on their cave floor.
Yes.
Again, to your point, Rachel,
It's like
I don't know why
makeup.
they live
It's
in a
like
cave.
putting makeup on him.
Yeah, it's like putting a little like cap on the nose. They're like, he'll get used to it. His mom licks it off so that he can let it shine through for while they're, there.
Well, because he talks like this because it's like clogging up his nose.
Right. Snowman says that for the first year they were able to hide Rudolph's nose pretty well. And Donner taught Rudolph how to be
The
a
non-conformity.
reindeer. What?
It says non-conformity.
Oh, yeah. His non-conformity. I like that he says it that way.
Yeah, he
Like
says
this-
it weird.
This disability that he has.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're going with.
Well, because Santa clearly against the act for disabled peoples. He's not putting ramps up anywhere in the north. Stairs everywhere, mother. If these reindeer have an accident, they are shot to death. We cannot have any disabled reindeer or elves, mother.
Maybe it's after all of this that he's like, wait a minute. I shouldn't be discriminating. And then he starts actually putting in like
Again,
good
he's a very
acts and
old
stuff.
German man, so it's Santa Claus is German, right? I am right about that.
Yeah,
Like
Santa
Mrs. Claus
Santa
is clearly
Claus.
doing like a German accent, right? Santa Claus.
Weihnachtsmann.
Folks at
Weihnachtsmann
home, I don't
is
know what Rachel is saying, and I hope it's not a slur. That's all I can say.
Weihnachtsmann is
Weihnachtsmann?
a generic term for Father Christmas or Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. We will turn Santa Claus into the best creature of the German peoples.
I mean, it does say Western Turkey, so I think he's
Alright, I
Turkish.
can see that too.
But-
Turkish, German, whatever. We get the first hint of the abominable snow monster. Can't be man because Sam is like, that is not a snowman. Which is, to your point, Rachel, just a Yeti. He
It
is
is
just a Yeti.
Yeah, he's a big old Yeti.
And he hates Christmas,
Now,
according to Sam.
does he? Is he like attacking Santa all the time or something?
That was what I was
Because
wondering
where do they
too.
come
It
up
was
with
like,
this?
Why do they think that? There's no indication that he ever interacts with anyone in
No,
this
he
in this story.
It seems like he just wants to be on his own, and if you come over like into his land, he's like, "Get the hell out of here!" Right? Like that's more, I think, what it is.
I'm
than, "I hate
defending my
Christmas,
property."
Like
I don't need no Christmas lights
he's just saying, "Get off
on my
lawn.
property.
No reindeer games on my lawn. Get out of here."
Yeah. Every ball that comes over this fence, I'm keeping it.
Oh, we got a Sandlot thing happening now.
Yes. Very well could have been. The Sandlot with the reindeer and the abominable snowman is...
It's just the snow lot.
James Earl Jones? The snow lot. That's terrible. Let's move on. So Sam says that business goes on as usual, and it's before Christmas. Rachel, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say this right now, and I mean this. I mean this wholeheartedly. And I don't care who hears it. None of this elf shit needs to be in this special.
weird.
Absolutely none of it.
Well, they
I
only added
don't
it
like
to...
these elves.
These elves are rude. They're mean and rude and bullies and like
They're all
cliques
pricks and bullies, too.
Oh my god.
They're all about conformity. They're all conformists. They're all consumerists.
Oh yeah. 100%. But I obviously they had to have they're trying to give Rudolph a parallel. Again, it's just padding. Because if you take out the Hermes part, I do feel like it would cut it down a lot more. You know?
Yes.
But
yes.
I guess Rudolph needed a friend.
We can't talk about the length of something, but we try to keep it at a decent clip, and we're just telling you the story. So
That's right.
however long it is for us is because of how long the thing we're telling you is. So, yeah, none of this needs to be there, and I understand what they're trying to do. It's just annoying, because, yes, there's all these elves. They all look the same. They all have the pointy ears and the dots for eyes, except for Hermie, who is this little nerdlinger elf. I'm fairly confident that Hermie's gay.
Oh, probably. Absolutely. I would say so. Say he's got that flip in his hair. He's very into like his style. He's different than everybody else.
He's well put together.
Yes.
Is Hermie a gay icon, do you think?
Oh, I hope so.
Listeners, is he a gay icon? I'm
not
saying that as a complete joke. I'm honestly asking if people think Hermie is gay.
I'm looking it up.
Rachel's We're never gonna get done with this. Yeah, our podcast was going pretty well, and then we spent about 7 hours discussing how the Grinch Stole Christmas and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I thought, what are we doing with our lives?
Hermie the elf turned dentist, and Prospector Yukon Cornelius are also gay. They're saying the Prospector is gay.
Who is saying that?
According to Vulture founder. What the fuck does that mean?
Vulture is like a magazine.
Right. I think Hermie is actually the gay icon, and he helps Rudolph like understand that it's okay to be different because he has all of this that he has to go through. He's got even more shit to go through than Rudolph.
Yeah, because he's going to lose his job because he's different. So let's get into that.
Which is ridiculous. Yes, let's talk about this.
So Hermie is, like we said, he's different. He's got the blonde coiffed hair.
He's got big eyes.
He's got actual pupils compared to the other elves.
And, like pink lips and stuff, yeah.
He is taking his sweet-ass time painting this truck or whatever. The elves are making toys. And the drunk foreman, who is a huge prick, is like, "Well, what are you doing, Hermie?" And Hermie's like, "Well, sir, I just don't like making toys."
And like the other elves, like you can see them in the background, and they have like the most evil looks on their faces. And they're they're all like snickering and like talking about him behind it. I'm like, oh my god.
Do you mind telling me what you do want to do?
Well, sir, someday I'd like to be a dentist.
A dentist?
Well, we need one up here.
Yeah, they're all very angry. Hermie, of course, played by Spider-Man. Paul Soles, who played Hermie, also was the voice of Spider-Man in the 60s.
Oh.
So, which is weird because you hear this and you don't hear, my spidey sense is tingling from like the Spider-Man cartoons.
And now that's all I'm going to picture.
So they're shocked by the fact that he doesn't like being an elf.
Yeah. You know what? I don't think that's a problem. Maybe you guys do need a dentist up there. Maybe you guys have issues with your teeth. We don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He
Might as well.
Out. He should go find a home in a tree with the Keebler elves, or you should go find a cobbler elf and
looks kind of more
make
Keebler
some
elf
shoes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he was born to do. Maybe this is like a situation where he got adopted
he's
into the Christmas elves. Yeah. And he was supposed to be a Keebler elf.
But even if he was a Keebler elf, he wants to be a dentist. Like,
yeah,
that's
but they
his
make
passion.
cookies and stuff, and so he's like, well, I'm actually the dentist because now we make money off of all the cookies that we also sell, and it's like, win-win situation.
Oh, I see. So he let his family sets up the problem, and he comes in with the solution of fixing
That's
the
right.
teeth. It's
That's
a big
right.
racket. Those fucking Keebler elves are just a giant racket. He says he's been studying to be a dentist, and they need one up here. And the drunken foreman elf is like, "You're an elf! And elves make toys!" I never liked the voice on this head elf because it's so forceful. As like a little kid, it was another, like, that's what I'm talking about with a lot of the sound.
It was a bit
in
jarring.
Yes, jarring is the word. When you're like 3 years old and you're watching this and it's like everything in this stop motion animation always did this to me as a little kid anyway, because the motion to me was always so uncanny valley. You match that with these voices that are jarring and over the top, and it just makes it almost
And all the
scary.
noises that they make, everything.
Yeah, like it wasn't enjoyable. It was one of those things
where it was like, oh, this is something feels weird about this.
Yeah.
Whenever I would watch stuff like this when I was a kid.
So he announces that there's a 10-minute break for all the elves, and he lets the elves all go, except he's like, not you, Hermie, you little dentist wannabe little bastard. You paint that fucking truck, or you're fired.
He's behind on his numbers.
Yeah, he's got to meet his quotas, because he works for Amazon, and he's got to stuff all these fucking things into the mailbox. Here's the thing, Hermie. Why don't you just quit? Why don't you just quit? I get it. I guess this is like the only game in town Santa's got a monopoly on.
Right. Well, he probably doesn't get to live in the
there.
castle if he doesn't, work there anymore.
That's true. I'm just saying.
So then he has to go to the nearest village, and that's probably
he
a
should
pain.
go above he should go above the foreman's head here, and he should be like, "Look, Santa, I want to be a dentist. I'm gonna move out if that's what it takes to be a dentist. But I would rather like have you guys as a client and try this out. And if it doesn't work out, I'll leave."
Right.
But
no, that makes sense. Fair enough. Sometimes you got to go over that supervisor's head because they're not there for your best interest.
This guy's not. No, he's not. He is not a good manager.
Not.
He's not there for the best interest of his employees.
No, because he was calling them out in front of the other ones, and then the other ones were being all tittering in the background. Like, God.
He's not doing a good job of trying to self-actualize with his employees. That's for sure. But he starts singing about being a misfit. Why am I just a misfit? I am not just a nitwit. And that goes on for fucking ever.
He does say, "You can't fire me, I quit."
I quit.
That song.
But he doesn't, because months later he's still working for them. So he's just he's a Milton from Office Space. I'm gonna burn the whole building down.
It's one of those things where I think he just feels kind of stuck. Like he wants to quit.
Stuck.
He wants
he's in
to
this
quit so
dead-end
bad.
Job. Yeah.
And he wants to be able to do the things he loves, but he's like, but I have to do this. Like, I have to.
I gotta pay the bills. I got bills to pay. I gotta make the rent, because Santa's not letting us stay in the fucking castle. We've got rent outside of this castle. A year passes, or months pass, because I guess we needed that interlude to be for the elves there. Rudolph is older now. He's like a kid. And he's like, "Put on the cap, son." And Rudolph's like, "But Daddy, I don't wanna." And he's like, "You'll like it and you'll wear it, you little shit. I have gone through, I go to work every fucking day and put food on this floor so that you can one day pull Santa's goddamn sleigh. Put the cap on." So he puts the cap on. This is where he tells Rudolph that there's a little word called self-respect, and Santa can't object to him now. He's so mean to Rudolph.
Oh, really? And you can tell Mom wants to say something, but back then, she doesn't get to. She's not allowed to say anything. When Donner's not there, when Daddy Donner's not there, she could be like, "Okay, look, this is what we're gonna do," right? With Rudolph. But when he's there, she's like, "I can't say anything," because that's kind of how that dynamic is.
Shut up! Shut up!
You coddle him. You're coddling him.
All you ever do, Mary, is coddle him. It's all you ever do. He's never gonna grow out of that red goddamn nose. It comes from your side of the family, Mary. I tell ya.
I'm sad about it, but it's true.
Oh God.
This is gonna be hard for you to edit. Have fun.
What? This beloved Christmas classic. Rudolph sings about being a misfit, so he leaves the cave to cry. He takes off the cap and he cries.
Like the
we go to the next.
Is that what they call it? Because he's doing the same
reprise,
song.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Reprisal. I'm sorry. I don't know why I always say reprise.
I like it. We'll just make that a Shelf Life saying reprise, and never explain it from ever again. So now, This fucking nut job, Santa Claus. It's springtime or summertime. This is according to Sam the Snowman. All the reindeer are out. They're all frolicking about. They're all talking and having a good time. It's almost like the first day of school type of thing.
Yeah, kids on the playground type thing.
According to Sam the Snowman, all the fawns are out to be inspected by Santa. That's what he says.
Yeah, I know.
Line up, children. It's time to be inspected by Santa.
Oh, I hate
I
it.
picture
Stop.
all
You're
I picture
ruining
is
it.
all I picture is Santa Claus like the judge at a dog show. And
And
he's like
picking
he's
up
like
really
feeling their like jaws and like lifting their tails and stuff.
Yes. It's just a dog show, but with the reindeers.
Yeah. Donner pushes Rudolph and he's like, remember, he tells Rudolph, like, don't worry about your nose, son. And it's like, well, Donner, you've been making a big fucking deal about it.
You keep mentioning
his
it.
entire life. Maybe if you didn't make a big deal about it, he wouldn't be self-conscious about it.
Right. Maybe he'd learn to like control it. Maybe it's like a mutant thing, and it's like he now can like he has his magic powers.
Okay, now
and he
now
can
we're
actually
talking.
control it. And
It's 6 months from now. Charles Xavier rolls his ass up to the cave, and he's like, Mr. and Mrs. Donner, I'd like to see the boy. Rudolph.
I'd like to take him to a school called.
And he's like, oh, what's your name? My name is Charles Xavier, Rudolph. Now, I hear that you have a special gift. I don't have a gift. And then he telepathically goes, we all have some gift, Rudolph.
And then he goes,
yes.
Take off the nose cap and show me. And he's like, how did you know?
Now I want Rudolph to be in the X-Men team. Folks at home, make that happen. Marvel, that's a freebie right there, Marvel. Rudolph on the X-Men.
It'd be
I'd love
fantastic.
it.
He'd be on X.
He could be one of those.
You know,
he'd be one of those There's a new Marvel thing coming out called like Marvel Pets or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Because like DC did their Super Pets. Just have Rudolph be part of that.
Oh yeah.
He can pal around with Jeff the Shark.
Yeah. He could be friends with Lockjaw. He'd be friends with Lockjaw.
Absolutely. Yeah, Lockjaw is a big mammoth bulldog.
That's right.
That teleports with a fucking tuning fork stuck on his head.
It's fantastic.
He would
I love him.
understand. So
he probably
Rudolph
can hear
goes...
the nose every time it goes off. It's like that tuning fork.
God
okay,
damn,
I'm sorry.
we're never getting through this. Rudolph does go out and he tries to meet and mingle, and he becomes friends with Fireball. Rachel, I can tell you why Fireball's a prick, and I can tell you why Fireball's a prick right away.
He is
he has this
the
blonde
head honcho
mohawk.
bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dead giveaway that Fireball's
100.
going to be a prick. Because he's one of these kids that's like 6 years old and wants a mohawk, and the parents give him the mohawk. And it's like, your kid looks
like
like
a mohawk that
asshole.
turns into a mullet. You know, it's the mohawk that turns into the mullet.
Yes.
With a rat tail
That's
at
what
the
I
end.
picture, yeah. This kid in high school is wearing a leather jacket with fingerless gloves.
Oh, yeah.
He's smoking. He's a terrible influence.
He's ripped
on
his
the rest
jeans
of
to
them.
all hell.
Mm-hmm.
Draws on him all the time.
Yeah, that's Fireball.
And then he just pushes people around. I just picture him being
Yeah,
like,
he's just
someone
poking
just
people
pushes him for no
around.
reason. For no reason, he just butts him in the head. Like,
Yeah, he is the Stampy of Rudolph's club. So then, for no reason at all, Rachel, we go back to this fucking song. This song is awful that these elves are singing.
we all agree, and so does Santa.
Yes, I was like, all right, it goes on forever, and Santa's sitting there like, I wants to be anywhere else but here, and I was like,
He's like, why are they still singing? Why do I have to sit here anyways? This is stupid. I have stuff to do.
At first, I thought Santa was just stressed out because he's got stuff to do, like he's got to go inspect the fawns or whatever. But no, he really hates this song. He is like these stupid elves with this stupid fucking song. So
And he goes, and Mrs. Claus makes me sit through it every year,
Yes,
and I
it is-
hate it.
It is just Mrs. Claus making him sit through this. That's
She's
all
just
it
like,
is. Yeah. because she's clapping along. So, as much as I hated this song, and yes, when I had to go through it for note-taking purposes, I went through it at twice the speed because I was like, I gotta move.
No, one thing I did note is there is a weird elf in this song.
The tall elf,
all right?
the tall.
There's
skinny
the
elf?
tall nerd elf. All right.
Yeah,
He's also different.
The Harold Ramis elf, you mean? He looked like
yes.
Harold Ramis.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's like different too. You know, he's really tall, lanky,
he's a
and
little
has
different.
glasses, so he's like a nerd.
But
so they have optometrists. Why can't they have a dentist?
He conforms
That's
to
true.
what the other elves want to do.
I guess
And
that's
that's
true.
why
Yeah, he was
he's
bullied
accepted.
into it. He was bullied into it. Poor kid. He's Millhouse.
Yeah,
He's
we
the
don't know. He
Millhouse
might
of all
have-
the elves.
He might have ambitions and dreams too, but he conforms and does
Oh,
whatever
for
they
sure.
want.
He probably
Now-
wants to get into electronics, and they're just like, "What is wrong with you? Like that is not how we do this here."
We make little shitty cars and a bunch of dolls and shit. So, two things about this scene because I did hate it, and we can move on. Mr. and Mrs. Claus are sitting in thrones.
Yes.
Because they think very highly of themselves.
Oh yeah.
And Santa's body language for making you think he hates the song is great. Because it's like someone that is sitting in the chair and cannot stand being there.
Oh, it's
He's
it's
like-
the kid who just wants to go run around on the playground, but they're making him sit
yeah,
through
the kid in like church, yeah.
Yes.
He like keeps falling in his chair. He's like leaning on his shoulder. It's
Oh,
so
he's
good.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I understand. I feel for you there.
Well, because he even goes like, you know, what did you think? Or like, Santa, what did you think? He's like, yeah, I gotta go. I got stuff to do. And he goes, it needs a little work. And then he leaves.
He says it
He
needs a
just
little
is
work.
so like, God, I hate these goddamn elves. You know what? If your labor wasn't so cheap, I would replace you all in a heartbeat.
Apparently, he's got there's the Oompa Loompas next door. I could just.
I will go get if that fucking
talk to
Wonka didn't
Wonka.
have those Oompa Loompas, I will rent them out from Wonka. I only need them for a month a year. They work twice as hard as any of you pricks do.
Yeah, year round.
Wonka's next door. He's got the competing castle.
Yeah, I could see Wonka having a competing castle
Oh,
in
well,
the North Pole.
100%. Very timely.
It's a good
'cause
place for him
Wonka's
to
coming.
work because it's cold. You know, it keeps everything
Yeah, the
chilled.
chocolate won't melt.
Yeah.
Mrs. Claus liked it though. And
Oh yeah. She said,
lets
"Don't
the
change a thing."
drunken foreman know this. He says that it was like terrible. He turns to like the guy and he's like, "That was terrible. Where's the tenor section?" And they say the tenor section was weak because Hermie, this nutcase,
Oh my god.
is practicing dentistry on dolls.
I mean, that's kind of what you do, though, right? You're supposed to practice on a dummy.
That's fine. I was almost like, what is the problem with what he's doing here, though, for the drunken elf? Because if he's fixing the dolls, what is his problem? Because isn't that like his job?
Right. He's like, I just came over to quality control. I got to make sure everything's doing okay.
Yeah,
You know.
I don't see what he's doing wrong. But
He wasn't at the performance for one.
yes, that's true. The foreman elf is like, you're supposed to do important elf stuff, like wiggling your ears and learning this stupid song that Santa hates. He just like storms off, and Hermie's like, you know what? Fuck this job. I quit. And he finally decides to leave after years of this abuse. Back at the reindeer games, because this is as good as they could come up with for figuring out how to interpret reindeer games for this special. The does are there, so all the female reindeer that are Rudolph's age are there as well. You can tell which
Right.
one Clarice is because she has a bow in her hair.
Right.
Comet comes out. Comet
As a
is their
coach.
coach. Comet's going to
Literally
teach them
dressed
how
as
to
a coach.
fly. Yes,
he
he's
has
got
he has a whistle.
a whistle and a baseball hat on. Pretty awesome.
Right.
So he is that weird cat-eye lady from Harry Potter, and he's going to teach them all how to fly,
yeah.
so they all
That's
have to
right.
get their brooms. He's a real 1960s style coach, too. And the way that he's talking and the way that he's got the voice, I will be your pal and your coach.
And the announcer.
So he says that he's going to make bucks out of him. Their first game, take off. Because they couldn't think of anything better. This is Dasher's boy first goes, and he kind of flops. But Comet says it's all right for a first try. They all laugh at him because they're all jerks. Because they're all going to do this. They're all going to flop.
Right. Like, why are you laughing?
If I was Comet, I'd almost be like, hey, you're all going to do this, and you're all going to fail.
Right.
So, like...
It reminds me of being in, like, gym in, like, grade school. And it's
well,
like,
that
we
is
all
what it's
suck at
supposed to
these
be.
things. You know,
Because...
like, nobody actually laughed, though, because we're all like, none of us wants to be here.
But as we point out, though, the allegory here is that children are horrible monsters.
Children are horrible monsters, yeah.
So this is just them being horrible monsters in that way.
That's correct.
Fireball thinks that Clarice is making, like, goo-goo eyes at Rudolph. So Rudolph goes over to flirt with her. I like this little touch here where she says something about him being cute or whatever. Something first about him being like, maybe he'll be like the best one, and then she's like, well, what's wrong with the way I talk? Because he can't talk with the nose out.
Right.
He blushes, and his blush reflex causes the nose to glow. Because
which makes him totally red.
Yeah, because you can see it a bit, and that's where Clarice is like, something wrong with your nose? I wrote down hello, Clarice. Oh, because Silence of the Lambs is all I could think of, because her name is Clarice.
My name's Clarice. And you go, oh, hello, Clarice.
Hello, Clarice. Welcome to the reindeer games.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Now what kind of reindeer games is it going to be?
So, I didn't understand what happened here, because... And I think they just must have edited out a line or something like that, because Clarice goes, would you want to go with me? And Rudolph's like, okay. And I was like...
isn't, like, go with
go
me...
where?
Like, isn't that also mean, like, dating? Like,
maybe,
to go with,
maybe
to go
it's
out?
a 1960s colloquialism. You're right.
Yeah.
It might be just from the 60s, and I'm too young.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's like a go
right.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's a weird way to say it, but it is.
So for, like, Gen Z, we should be saying that Rudolph had mad riz, and Clarice was no capping on that date with Rudolph.
Oh, you must have Gen Z people working for you, because I'm sitting here going, what?
I'm trying to keep us
I don't really know their
hip.
terms.
I always thought that
hip.
riz just meant somebody, like, had game, and it means it's just short for charisma.
Oh,
and I was like,
it? Yeah, they just shorten everything, isn't it? Isn't everything just shortened? Even the shortened words, they shorten. And it's like, what are you doing?
I remember this from when I was a kid. I remember this specifically. She said, I'm cute. I'm cute. I'm cute. And he starts flying in the air. I can vividly, like, picture her sitting, like, in the basement watching that on a VHS copy that I had taped. He floats in the air and he flies... From his boner, I guess, gave him the confidence to fly.
God darn it, no.
And
but I guess, yeah.
Well, it's like Peter Pan, you know. You need like you have to think happy thoughts to be able to fly.
Right. Yes.
So he is able to fly,
all magic.
And he lands perfectly too. And Comet's like, outstanding. And Santa happens to be like
Chip
coming
off
by.
the old block.
Yeah, and Santa's like, oh, that was pretty good. So he goes over and he starts roughhousing a little bit with Fireball, and the nose cap falls off, and it reveals the red nose. And Fireball, like I said earlier, looks like he saw Satan himself.
Yes.
Because he's like,
his
what is that?
What is
that? And it makes that horrifying noise, and Comet's like, ah! So Fireball is horrified. He calls him a fucking freak. And Comet is shocked. They all point and laugh at him because he's an alcoholic.
Oh my god. Yes. They point and laugh and call him names. Freaks.
Yeah. They call him a little piss boy. And
wow.
then...
Wow. Jeez, these got bad.
Santa. I don't think admonishes Donner for the right thing here. He says Donner should be ashamed of himself. And you want to think that it's for hiding the nose. That's what Santa
for, like,
is
forcing
admonishing
your
Donner
kid
for.
to do this.
Part of me thinks it's him going, you really should be ashamed of yourself, Donner, having that little fucking freak Rudolph.
Yeah! Because then he's like, oh, he had a nice takeoff too. Like, oh, now I have to say no to him because he's
now
a
I have to say
freakish
no to him 'cause he
kid.
has this, 'cause
Like,
he's a little
what?
fucking freak. They won't
He's
let
horrible.
Rudolph. They won't let Rudolph play anymore. I don't understand why. I know that it's because he's different, but there's really no good reason why he doesn't do this or doesn't.
Yeah,
let
nobody
them
gives a
play.
reason why. Oh, you have a red nose. Okay, that means you can't fly. Nobody gives a reason.
Nobody gives a reason. They all are just bigoted pricks this
Yes.
entire time. All of them.
He's ostracized. He runs away.
Clarice follows, and she says that she likes his nose. It's a handsome nose. And he's like, but it's different. And she says, it's different, but that's what makes it grand. So she's just totally hot for him.
I know. I love it. She's adorable. Good for her.
She starts singing about dreams coming true. I remember this one a bit, and then all these woodland creatures come by to listen to the song and sing
Yes.
with her too. This felt like it went on forever. Just
Yeah.
forever. I wrote that it's kind of the 60s kid show version of them like making out. That's what we're essentially getting here.
Well, they are all couples too. All the woodland creatures, right?
All
They
the
all
woodland
are in
critter
twos.
creatures,
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's the Simba and Nala scene where they're playing.
There's a lot of Lion King parables.
Can you feel the
throughout this
love
whole
tonight?
thing. Yes, this is Can You Feel the Love Tonight. He leaves. He finds Timon and Pumbaa. There's a lot of
Oh my God,
Lion
it's
King
true.
parallels.
He comes back grown. His dad's not dead, but at least he comes back. You know.
Now that could have been a way to improve this, where Donner is the head reindeer, and there's a Scar-esque Uncle Reindeer that kills Donner to
Oh,
become the
wow.
head reindeer.
Ooh,
I like that
so there's
too.
your evil villain. Yeah.
That could work. And they blame Rudolph's nose going off for like causing the accident, and that's why he
right, because
runs
it was
away.
so bright.
Yeah, like Donner crashes the sleigh.
Because he says, "Oh, it blinded him," but it didn't.
Yeah,
He
but it
actually,
really
like,
was
pushed him.
Scar Reindeer who like shined like a
Oh.
red thing. I like
That's
this
right.
idea.
Ooh.
I like this. I like this ripoff. So Clarice's dad comes by and he's like, I won't have my daughter hanging around any sort of weird freak with some red nose. Again, it's about alcoholism, right? So
I guess.
I mean, not
Who's
really.
Clarice's dad is my question. I'm
That's a
assuming he's
great
also a part of
question.
like the originals, right?
I'd like to think that he's a backup. I'd like to
Oh,
think
you
that
think he's a
he's,
backup?
I mean, Santa's got to have backups, right? They're all having kids.
So
he's
he's
not
not
using them
blitzing?
all every year.
I'm just saying.
So, like, he's got his A squad, and then, like, maybe he has, like, other squads.
Oh yeah, sure. No, that makes sense. That feels fair.
I think that would be okay. Like, that's not, like, a bad thing.
They don't get worn out then.
Yeah, exactly. Even though they only work once a year for him anyway.
I mean, it's all magic, but I mean, it's a lot of flying, for one night. That's a lot.
It's a lot of
Going
flying.
around the world, man.
Yeah, he has to come back and get the next round him up. Hermie pops up out of a snowbank.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't
I
know
know.
what he was doing. Does he live?
I guess he was watching
in this
them.
snow tunnel now. Oh,
He's a bit of a peeper.
I like to watch. So
I mean, he might have just been walking by because he did just quit too. But I mean, I like the idea that he was just like, "Oh, she's singing. I'm gonna watch."
oh yes, I love hearing the young reindeers sing. They sing so much better than us elves.
You. He doesn't
So he
even want
says-
to join in though, so he's like, "Yeah, no, screw that stuff."
He tells him that he's a dentist. Well, he wants to be because he's a failure in every way, shape, and form. And then he
Sure.
tells him that he's independent. I remember that, Rachel, because like as a little kid, you're like, what does that mean? And you just
What's that
figure
mean?
just like,
Like,
figure it
okay.
out. They run away together, but first they sing about being misfits for an hour and a half, and then they start running away. Did you have something to say about it, Rachel? I thought you were going to. Okay.
No, I mean Rudolph now is like, I guess I'm also whatever you said, and he goes independent. Yeah, I'm also independent. Like whatever
he
that
says it
means.
wrong,
I
but he
guess
says,
I'm
like,
that too.
Independent or whatever. Yeah.
I
So
wonder
they
if he
immedi-
thinks that means like he is like running away and he's just gonna be like, I don't know,
a lost
sort of-
toy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lost. I'm a
I'm a
lost
lost
toy.
toy.
They realize it was a bad idea almost immediately because it starts to snow and they're just stuck out in the middle of the wilderness. Because they're fucking stupid.
Which, I mean, sure. Kids run away all the time and they usually go, yeah,
All the
I
time.
made it 5 minutes and I'm going home. They have these little fits, right? And then they're like, oh, wait, it's fine. I'm actually fine. They just have to sort through those feelings they don't understand. I bet it wasn't even months that he was gone. They were only gone for like a few days.
No, they were no. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. So they have to douse the light of his nose because the snowman can find them that way. So
The Yeti or the
Yeah.
snowman?
the abominable.
I mean, they could be afraid of the snowman too. You don't know what he's gonna do. So
the abominable. We'll say the abominable.
Mr. Bumble.
Yes, as we'll learn in a second. So
It's just
Sam,
easier to say than the abominable. I mean, that's a hard word to
you're right.
say.
We'll say Bumble. We'll say Bumble. Because on a podcast, saying the abominable a lot will make it very clear that we're running low on steam by the end of this.
Abominable.
A Bumble. I think that's why it's a Bumble.
I think it
By
is
the way.
Bumble because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. You think the Bumble uses Bumble? Anyway. So Sam... That was a bad dad joke.
I mean, he probably has to. He seems like there's not that many
Yeah,
Yetis
there's
around.
not a lot
so-
out there, yeah. So I would probably be on Bumble. I'm on Bumble now. Folks at home, find me. So they run away together. Sam shields his fear with the parasol,
Yes,
like you do, because
sure.
he's afraid of the Bumble.
Of course.
They get through the first night, and we get the best character in this entire special.
Oh, yeah.
My opinion. He is Yukon Cornelius. Larry Mann is playing Yukon Cornelius. I say it's Larry Mann as Jeff Bridges, as Rooster Cogburn, as Yukon Cornelius.
Oh my
Because
god.
it's talking like, oh, we're going to be a little bumble. What are you little buggers doing out here by yourself? My
Yep.
name's Yukon Cornelius. I'm the best prospector this side of the North Pole.
Yep.
That's Yukon
he's-
Cornelius.
He is very burly. He's red haired. You know, he
Yes.
could be Santa's
Sami Zayn.
replacement.
He could be Santa's replacement. If Santa is looking for a replacement, Yukon Cornelius, that'd be a fun
I mean,
Santa.
this
You'd be
man
like,
is a nice
oh,
man.
Let's get you guys all dressed up here.
Oh.
We're going to put on some tunes. We're going to give some presents to the goddamn children all out here. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And then
I'm going to take the dogs out this time.
yeah,
Reindeer
he'd
can
bring
be
his Humane Society dogs because
fine.
you know, instead of going to like a breeder for huskies, he's just like, yeah, I went to the Humane Society and just took whatever was there because it's just the weirdest grouping
what
of
happened.
dogs.
Got like a Saint Bernard. He's got a corgi. There's like a
There's a poodle.
yeah, it's just whatever he had.
Mush! Mush! Don't you understand North Pole talk? Mush! What's this? Hey, you get frostbite that away.
Who are you?
Who am I? The name's Yukon Cornelius, the greatest prospector in the North. This is my land, and you know, it's rich with gold. Gold! Gold and silver, silver and gold. Wahoo!
His big gimmick is that he flips his pickaxe in the air and lets it land
Yes.
wherever, and then he licks it. And I distinctly, as a kid, remember the licking
Yes.
noise because he's trying to see if there's
He's
silver
tasting
or
what the
gold.
ground is.
Yeah,
he's
is
like,
there,
oh,
like, any
okay,
me-
that's what's here.
Oh, get my precious metals out of the ground. Little buggers are gonna help me get all these fucking metal out of the ground.
Yeah, because
So-
he seems to know, like, when he licks it, he kind of goes, oh, okay, it's made of this. This is what's buried here. So he
Yeah.
knows, like, where to dig.
And then suddenly, for no reason, mind you, Sam the Snowman starts singing a song about silver and gold. Now, I know, Rachel, that the
Silver
reason is
and
because he
gold.
mentions wanting silver and gold, my boy! But there's still no reason for this song. Now, hang on. I love the fact that the seals and Sam the snowman have like a little bit worked out here. Like
yeah.
they had it ready to go because a seal comes by and hands Sam a banjo to start doing the song.
Yeah, he's like friends with those seals.
This song goes
The
on
squirrels
forever.
come and they're doing like a whole little skit for him and everything in this whole song. It's crazy.
Yeah, this thing takes forever. This song is so unnecessary. But
It's a little
Burl
odd because they're like trying to tie it back to Christmas by saying that's how we decorate the Christmas tree with silver and gold.
because you put tinsel or garland on it.
Yeah.
So they're trying to tie
The
it
baubles.
back. They're trying their best.
Mm-hmm.
But Burl Ives is such a good like singer that it's like, well, I
Yeah.
like the song, but like, why
It's
is it
fine.
here?
Right.
All right, so we go back to
He needs to get some ham hocks.
yeah. He tells them that he'll take him with to get some ham hocks.
Well, he's getting supplies. He's getting supplies. All right.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
that's the whole idea. But
Yeah, he's going to get
gunpowder,
supplies.
ham hocks,
Oh,
guitar
get some
strings,
gunpowder,
whatever.
some guitar strings, and some ham hocks. Here's all the basics to go down to the store. I'm not gonna have a voice after this.
No, not if you keep doing that one. So he puts them in the sleigh and he tries to tell the dogs to mush. And
Right.
they're just like staring at him like, no.
No, I love that they all just hop
This is the best.
onto the cart. too.
Yes. So then he's like, let me show you. And they all hop on and he's just pulling the sled.
Yeah, so then he's just pulling the sleigh.
It's very
And
cute. The guy
have
is
to run
very charismatic.
yes, he's got a lot of riz, as we said. So the Abominable, though, chases them down, and he starts pulling them to get out of there.
You know, I wonder if he was like drawn to them because of that silver and gold song. He's like, oh, music. I like music. And so he
But
just
they
started
weren't
like,
singing the song. The snowman.
yeah, the
was.
snowman was. Yeah.
Well, the
Oh, yeah,
snowman's
you're
not in
right.
the same timeline.
I don't know why I thought
That
it was
would be
like all happening
bizarre
at the same place.
if we had like a singing folk.
It's
like-
very fourth wallish, you know, like this is actually like this is a stage and the snowman's just standing next to the stage singing and so they can talk to the snowman at any point because it's the story.
I would love if at one point the snowman shows up in the background and Hermie just turns to Yukon Cornelius and is like, "What the hell's
Who's that
and Sam's just strumming on the banjo.
Saying.
So they need to get away from the Abominable, and they go to like the edge of the ice, and Cornelius has a plan, and he takes the pickaxe and he carves out a piece of the ice, and they float on it downriver. And he's like, "Bumbles hate water. Everybody knows that bumbles hate water."
They can't swim, they sink.
Yeah, they sink. So they
He
get
just
away
can't swim.
from.
I don't think he's ever learned.
Why would he need to swim?
Right.
So he does the pickaxe thing again to celebrate. Nothing. And they float on downriver. And they're like, "Well, what can you do? Should we just join Yukon Cornelius as this 3-man operation here?" And he's like, "Well, you can come with me. You can work for me. I'm going to provide a bunch of gold mines and silver. I'll have all the miners and shit." So that's their plan. They're just going to like become miners with Yukon Cornelius. Meanwhile, Donner, I guess realizing that he's been a prick and that's why Rudolph ran away, is like, "I've
Right.
got to go find Rudolph. Don't come with me, Mrs. Donner. Not
No.
because if he shows up,
Oh, there's
I
a
need
quote
you to
here.
be here." Sam the Snowman says, "That's men's work."
Yeah,
Or
that's
what
a
does he say?
man's work.
Yeah.
No, this is a man's work. Exactly.
You can't come. It's man's work.
Which is bullshit. And you know what Clarice and Mrs. Donner do? They fucking go out anyways.
They go out anyway.
Because they're like, screw you, Mr. Donner. We're going anyways to find our Rudolph.
I was
Good
kind
for them.
of hoping that, misremembering what happened, I was like, I was kind of hoping that Donner is the one that gets trapped by the bumble. And
Yes, and like
then,
Mrs.
and
Donner has
Clarice
to come
Mrs.
and get
Donner
him.
find him first. Yeah, that's how it
Right.
happens. But because they
It
were
would have been great.
This isn't that progressive. It's made by Rankin
Right.
and Bass. They're making fucking, this thing. So they end up, Yukon and company end up on this island. I guess I should say Rudolph and company, but for me, Yukon Cornelius is the main character going forward.
It's more so Yukon and company.
They end up on the island here, and they see the griffin flying into this fucking ice castle.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
another
bizarre.
castle.
This is utterly, totally bizarre. I don't know what kind of drugs
Bizarre.
everyone was taking in the 60s. Yes, bizarre. This is bizarre.
This is bizarre.
To a whole nother level. So we find out. And Rachel, this scared me as a child. I feel like
I mean, it is kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a little creepy. So the Jack in the Box comes out of the box.
Jack in the Boxes are scary anyways, because clowns. Okay, look.
Sure. But he's not
He's
a
not
Jack
a
in
Jack,
the Box.
though.
He's a Charlie in the Box.
That's right. That's right.
And all the rest of the toys start coming out of the woodwork, and we learn all about the Island of Misfit Toys. They're toys
Right.
that I guess have been
With
made by
defects.
elves. Yeah. I want to assume that they're made by elves like Hermie, who's like, I'm going to make something very special. I'm going to make
like
a
something
cowboy
different.
riding an ostrich. And then nobody
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
it.
I'm wondering if it's like that. Yeah, it's got to be like that, or like they're so overworked that every once in a while they just make a really bad one, like Depression Doll over here. So like,
Yeah, is that the
doll with
problem with the
depression?
doll? Does she have
yeah.
depression?
So I looked it up because I had
Okay.
to. I was like, what is wrong with the doll? She
Because
never
there's
really
nothing
says,
wrong
but
with
she's crying
her.
all the time.
Yeah.
And apparently it's because she is sad. She's a sad, like, depressed doll that she has like a mental issue. And so she's on the Island of Misfits Toys. And I'm like,
Not
that
to
is
laugh
so
at mental
awful.
issues. I'm laughing at the idea of in this Rudolph special, this doll has depression. And that's why she's on the island.
Isn't that sad? Poor Dolly.
Yes, so the doll is sad. Train has square wheels on its caboose.
Yeah,
And
the elephant has polka dots.
Which, like
like
what's
he's-
the problem with that?
Yeah, I didn't
don't
think that. I
understand.
really didn't think there was a problem with that. My husband said maybe it's because he looks diseased. Which, fair. It's
This
like
fucking show.
some type of pox.
Yeah, in the 60s, I mean, you could get polio and shit. So they go through this song, and at this point, I really wanted, like, Hermie to turn and be like, let's leave. We need to leave right now.
We're the misfits of misfits right now. We need to get out of here.
I feel like this song goes on for fucking ever, too.
It does, but I also I remember the Misfits toys, like the Island of Misfits toys being like its own
A major
show or
part
movie.
of this, yes.
And it was huge,
yes.
and there was like so much that
Yes.
happened, and I'm like, that was it?
Yes.
Like,
I really thought it was a much larger part of this show.
yeah.
There's also a squirt gun that shoots jam.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I just think somebody just, filled you up improperly, but that's
I do wonder, Rachel, there's a sequel to this. There's
is
several
there?
sequels to this. There's a sequel to this called, like, something, Rudolph and the
bird that swims.
Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys or something like that. In 2001, there was a CGI animated sequel called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys. But by 2001, we would have been too old to care. So
Right.
I don't think that's what we're thinking of. I think we
I don't
both
think
misremembered
so.
this as being way bigger of a part than it really
Right.
is. So they get done with the song, and then
Yes.
Rudolph and company are like, can we stay here? Because we're
yeah,
misfits.
like we're a bunch of misfits.
Even though
Can't we just
is
stay
Cornelius a
with you guys?
misfit? I don't know how he is, but I guess he's like,
No,
no,
but I
fuck
think
it,
I don't
care."
think he wants to stay. I think he's just kind of making sure that these guys have a place to go because
To
they're
a place
both
to
almost
stay.
childlike. Yeah, and he's like being
Yeah.
protective.
Okay.
So even though the elf is
I'll
probably
allow
over
this.
100, he's just like, I gotta take care of this kid.
The fact that I enjoy the character of Cornelius, I will allow this. So the Misfit Toys are like, well, if you want to stay here, you have to go ask Aslan, who is a fucking griffin and
Yes.
apparently is king of this island. Now,
Is he like a stuffed animal? Is he like the griffin stuffed animal?
I have no idea what he is. I know South Park has made fun of this. Why is there a griffin in this movie?
Well, I think he has to also be a toy, right?
I don't know. It sounds more like he lets them stay there. Because he's like, yes, I let the misfits stay here. I know South Park has made fun of this character. Like, I can picture
they
it.
must.
I don't know
if they didn't, I would be so surprised.
What is the name of this? Aslan? I thought it was, but I can't
No,
remember.
it can't be. Don't. No. Get out of here.
No, it's not. It's not Aslan. It's King Moonracer.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Moonracer. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't understand that at all. I have no idea why there's a griffin in this.
So this is like he rules this island, and this is like
Correct.
his castle and everything?
That's right. Yes, that's what I think.
So what does he do here? Now I need to know a little bit more lore about this griffin.
This is just his island. This is Ice Island.
Just
I rule
look.
the Ice Island. Silence, reindeer. I will judge if you can stay here. He essentially is like, you guys can't stay here. You're not real misfits. So I can't allow you to stay here. And quite frankly, the island already is kind of full. In fact, I've drowned some of these fucking misfits, and I just haven't told the rest of the toys.
Jeez.
He kind of comes to the idea of, like, you guys can stay here tonight, because I'm not going to kick you out.
Yeah, I'm not a jerk. Look.
But I want you to go back to Christmas Town, and I want you to tell Santa that there's a bunch of toys here that need homes.
Right.
So they're like, all right, fine, good deal, Aslan, and we'll do, I'm not calling him Moonracer, and he's Scar. He could be the Scar, Rachel. He's got the black mane.
Could be Scar.
Yeah.
It could work. I just don't know if he's evil. I haven't figured that out yet.
I have not figured that out yet. I need to watch this movie like 4 more times to figure out if he's evil. So they all are shown to a hotel room in this ice castle. They're all sharing a bed. They must have got very tight quarters here at Moonracer's castle. But they're all laying there and they're all talking about like what they're gonna do. And they're like, well, we'll just keep on moving once the morning comes. And he's like, yeah, but my nose, like, the bumble's gonna come
we'll deal
get
with
us.
it. It's fine. Yeah, they don't care. They're like, that's fine. It's no big deal. We'll just keep.
Yeah,
going.
we honestly don't care. So let's get some shut eye. We'll wake up in the morning. We'll make some eggs and pancakes, and then we'll figure out what's gonna happen. I'll make some griddles. Maybe I'll cook up one of these buggers over here, and we'll make us some steak or something.
He'd make some Belgian waffles.
So in the middle of the night, Rudolph leaves because he believes that he's going to endanger Hermie and Yukon by staying with them. So he leaves this little cottage house that they were staying in.
He gets on an iceberg and leaves. Like, what are you doing?
So he leaves Timon and Pumbaa and truly just heads out on his own. Rachel, this is where you're saying you don't think much time passes, but he gets substantially larger.
No, you're right.
And grows antlers.
Fine. He's also a deer, but yeah, fine.
I'm saying it's been months.
And
we know it's been months
because
because Santa at some point says they've been out looking for you for months.
Right, sure.
And because you didn't write back or phone them when you got to that Moonracer island. So we get a montage of Rudolph interacting with different woodland creatures. He plays with some polar bear cubs, and then the polar bear's like, "Get out of here, you freak!" And then
we're not friends with you. We'd eat you.
the first thing we get to see of like teenage Rudolph is his ass. It's just this big ass shot of Rudolph.
Oh
drinking.
yeah, that's true. He's bent over and everything.
It's to
he's drinking water.
It's to reveal the antlers and that he's bigger.
Right.
That's the point of it. It's just I'm just being facetious to say like, yeah, get this ass shot.
Right.
And Sam the Snowman says that he realized that he can't run away from his problems anymore. He's going to go home.
Why?
Yeah.
Where did you come up with that?
I've got a big fucking problem with that. I have a huge problem with that. We spent all this time with all the superfluous bullshit And then all of the
And the
character
superfluous
growth,
bullshit didn't do anything for him.
right?
It was just off on his own.
He just decides he's gonna go home.
He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go home.
That's it.
I'm
I'm just gonna go home.
Like what? What?
There was nothing to.
That was kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that
that
annoys
was
me.
that was really bad. Really bad. He
And
goes
then he
back.
just gets home like so easily. He doesn't get lost. Nothing happens. He just gets
Right.
home. It's like, yeah, now I'm
He
home.
he gets home. The reindeer still make fun of him for having the red nose. He's like, "Fuck you guys! I'm going back to my house."
Which good for him, character growth, but still.
But again, like we don't know why he
Why?
believes this. Like it would make sense if he stuck with Hermie and Yukon and they
Yes.
taught him confidence, or like he realized
Yeah, and they
there's
grew together.
There's no growth. They were just being told that there's growth for no reason, and it's like none of this happened for any reason here.
Right.
He goes back to the cave, and nobody's there, and Santa must have heard that Rudolph was back in town, so he shows
Right.
up.
Well, he heard the reindeer snickering and saying, red
Yeah.
nose, whatever.
Yeah. And he's like, well, they're all gone, Rudolph, because you were selfish, and you abandoned your family, even though I'm the reason that you ran
It's
away
my
anyway.
fault you did this.
So he tells him that they
Now
went
my
out to
best
look-
flyer's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't even really
doesn't even care
He's
about
like,
Rudolph.
My best flyer's gone because of you.
Right.
So Rudolph's like, I'll find them, sir. Don't you worry. And this is when the storm that
Hits.
the snowman has been telling us about this entire time comes. And it's this giant
Right.
blizzard. It takes out Christmas Town. It's going crazy. The elves are flying everywhere. It's mass hysteria.
Oh my gosh. Presents are being unwrapped. Igloos are being ended. Trees are being undecorated. Sorry, go on.
What we end up finding is
Very
Rudolph
violent.
stumbles upon
Yep.
the Bumble's cave, where he's preparing to eat Clarice. Because I guess Clarice and his mom and dad, probably at some point there's a deleted scene where they all meet up.
They all
and then
caught up, yeah.
Yeah, and they all stumbled upon the cave.
Is he gonna eat her? Do you think he's gonna eat her, or is he just, playing with her like she's a toy or something? Because, wouldn't he have eaten her already? Did he just catch them?
I don't know. It's an excellent question. They make it seem like he's gonna eat her. They don't redeem
we still
the
don't
Bumble.
know. I'm wondering if the snowman, the narrator of this story is
He's got a little bias.
He's got a
It's
bias against Yetis.
He's got a bias
He's
against Yetis.
He thinks Bumbles are these giant, just bumbling idiots, and that's why he pictures them this way. But maybe they're actually kind, gentle giants.
Yeah, he could be a misunderstood gentle giant. I know
right.
that's Rachel wants to believe that. I'll let you believe that. I don't know. I think he's.
I mean,
he's
he
just a
becomes friends
Yeti.
with them at the
I don't
end.
think he
Spoiler
hates
alert.
Christmas or anything like that.
I don't think he hates Christmas either. That's I
He
think
just-
it's all
he's just
lies
he's a
and
Yeti.
rumors.
This is all propaganda.
It's all propaganda.
All using Sam the Snowman. There's no fucking King Moonracer or any of this bullshit. So the Yeti looks ridiculous. He's this big hairy beast. He has
Right.
a blue face. His
Yes, 'cause
nipples are
he's Yeti.
showing. He's got blue hands.
Giant
He's
big
got
feet
kind of
'cause he's Bigfoot,
stuggy, yeah, stumpy corgi legs kind of thing. Rudolph comes in and he's like, "Hey, let her go." And the Bumble, being an idiot, tries to catch Rudolph. Rudolph gets behind it though and starts hammering on him. The Yeti murders Rudolph by hitting him with a stalagmite.
And then laughs.
So Rudolph and company are in trouble. And this is where the real heroes of the story come in.
That's right.
Because we don't know what Yukon and Hermie have been doing this entire time.
They've been probably trying to find Rudolph,
I would,
and they're just
I would
hanging
guess
out.
that too. Yeah, so they
Yeah.
stumble upon the cave because wouldn't you know it? And Yukon, who has a gun, mind you, on his belt this entire time,
Yes, he does.
comes up with a plan.
And a whip. I mean, he's been whipping the
Yeah, he's
the
been whipping
sled
these
dogs.
this entire time, which you shouldn't do.
Yeah, don't do that.
So Rudolph's knocked unconscious by the Bumble.
It's the same. The second whipping. We had whipping in with the Grinch.
Yeah, we had
and now
whipping.
we have whipping
Yeah,
with
we had
Yukon.
dog whipping in both of these. The 60s were
rude.
all just about whipping dogs.
I'm sorry, go on.
So the Bumble's got all of the reindeer in one part of the cave. He's got Luke Skywalker in another part of the cave.
Right.
And so he's all set and ready to go.
Oh yeah. He's got it all. All of his stories are set up now.
Because that thing from Empire Strikes Back, that's just the Bumble Cave, right? That's just another, look at this. I was watching the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special, and I saw the Yeti, and I thought,
what if we put it on a different planet? We could put it on a different planet.
Make
it an alien.
I needed something on this Hoth planet for Luke to get to be caught by. What's that show on Adult Swim, the chicken show? What's that called? Robot Chicken?
Yeah,
it's a Robot Chicken sketch where Rudolph's playing the snowman and Luke's just hanging in the back because he's already been caught.
And he's like, take my lightsaber. He's like, I already have one. And like his nose gets bigger and he can like fight with it.
There you go, Robot Chicken. We just gave you a 4-minute sketch. Just say courtesy of Shelf Life in the credits. We'll be happy. So their big plan is Hermie does a abominable snow monster cat call, I guess.
Yeah.
I know how to it's, one of those.
Well, I think he's doing a pig. He's acting like a pig because the Yeti is hungry. So Mr. Bumble's like, oh, a pig. That's actually way heartier than deer meat. I don't know. Maybe it's just not going to be as gamey, meat, right? So I think we have
venison. I think I've had venison. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Grandpa had it from like a friend. And I think we've eaten
meat,
it.
Isn't it?
It's dark meat and it's supposed to be gamey, I think.
Yeah, a little gamey.
So I think pork would be better.
Much
right?
more succulent.
Make some bacon out of it. It'd be great.
Oh, this Bumble loves bacon.
Roast
Who else
pork
loves bacon? I love a good bacon in the morning. We find some pigs out here. We'll get the Bumble pig and we'll get ourselves a pig. I'm not going to have a voice tomorrow. Everyone at work's going to be like, why are you sick?
I was doing the Yukon voice.
No, I was doing a lot of Yukon Cornelius impressions. I did a bit where Donner was yelling at his wife. Don't worry about it. So, the Bumble, being an idiot, comes out of the cave, and Yukon Cornelius attempts to murder him by dropping a bunch of ice on him. This doesn't work, so he has to get a bigger boulder, and that hits him on the head. It's like an actual rock piece, and that takes him down. And then Hermie's like, don't worry, I have plans for the Bumble.
Does he actually say that? I don't remember.
No, he says, like, I'll take care of him, and he's got the... Oh. So, Rachel, I always got very disturbed by this. I don't know why, as a kid, I was always like, what the hell did he do to him?
Because you're right. I forgot about that.
He's got these clamps.
Yeah.
All right? And then he walks between the Bumble's leg. And I'm like, oh, I hope he didn't clamp that.
Oh, God.
Because he just walks, like, right underneath, the Bumbledong. Bumblebeans.
I don't want to talk about bumblebeans. That's weird.
He's like, don't worry. He won't be doing anything to anyone. Clamp, clamp, clamp. He took out all of the Bumble's teeth.
It's so mean. That's so mean. Now he's only going to be able to eat pudding.
Did he take out, like, cavities? Or did he
I think he
just
pulled
pull
all his
the teeth out?
He pulled all his teeth out.
So this goes back to the question, Rachel, of is the Bumble a misunderstood monster?
I think he's a misunderstood monster, and they just pulled all his damn teeth out. So he's going to eat the pig instead. He's like, oh, good, there's a pig outside. I have food. I'm going to go get it. Maybe he's going to roast it up for everybody.
We don't know in this fantastical world if a pig might be a anthropomorphic creature and have thoughts and feelings and talk.
Yeah, we don't know the pig, so it's fine.
Fair.
But I feel bad for Mr. Bumble.
But he still is, like, ready to kill, I guess. Or at least ready to defend himself.
Yes. Fair. I think that's a fair thing to do. He should be ready to defend himself.
But Yukon Cornelius gets to have this heroic death. I couldn't think of, like,
mighty humble Bumble?
Yeah, that's a mighty humble Bumble you got there. So I couldn't tell what this reminded me of.
He's like about to wrestle this guy. Let's go.
This has to be in some other pop culture thing, right? Where that Yukon's about to do. I'm sure we're gonna stumble upon it as we go through the list.
Do you want me to like name like I mean like stuff like this happens like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's kind of it's definitely
it's like run,
Gandalf.
fly, you fools.
Yes.
Like Gandalf.
Fly, you fools!
Aragorn does it later too when he takes the other guy off the cliff and he falls into the river and they all think he's dead.
Some good
and then
cliff deaths.
Yeah, so you think he's dead too. I feel like there's another thing. Oh, there's like a bear. There's a bear movie, and it happens with the bears. I don't remember.
It's a movie with a bunch of bears. I don't remember what the hell happened.
Is it Brother Bear? Is that what it happens?
Brother Bear. The fuck?
The guy who gets turned into a bear. I want to say it happens in it. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway. Lord of the Rings is the first thing that popped into my mind. Of course.
Cornelius is like, I'm gonna tame this Bumble. And he starts backing it up.
Yeah, because he's not dead. Spoiler alert, he's not actually dead.
No, he just has his teeth pulled out. And he's just standing there like with his gums. And he's like, I'm gonna fight the Bumble.
I thought we... No, I thought we already said he fell off the cliff.
Well, okay. I'm about to say it. So, because we said he fell off the cliff, but we didn't really explain what happened. What happens is Cornelius backs the Bumble up to the edge of the cliff. He jumps on it. The rest of his sled dogs jump on it too, and then they all fall off the cliff. And they're like, oh my god, Yukon Cornelius is dead. They can't say dead, they say he's gone. But then they all mourn Yukon Cornelius. Now, I have a bit of a problem with this, Rachel, because they go back to Santa's castle, and they aren't like, we were saved, like, we're safe now. Yeah, we were safe now, but we lost Yukon. And Santa's like,
right, they're not
who's
like,
Yukon?
We're only here because of Yukon Cornelius. They're like, we should make like some type of memorial for him.
Yes, I wanted like a big statue of Yukon being constructed.
Which I think still should happen.
So then, for no reason, Santa's like, maybe we were a little hard on you, Rudolph. And the drunken foreman elf is like, yeah, you can stay here even though you want to be a dentist and we think that you're a bit strange.
You're a bit weird.
So my problem with this is, Rachel, is if you think about the lesson that was learned here for kids, the lesson is if you run away from home, then those bastards will find out that they miss you.
Yeah, that is kind of what it feels like.
That's
kind
the
of
lesson.
Like yeah, I'm gonna run away, and when they miss me, then they'll care
be
about
sorry.
me.
Yeah,
right.
That's what they find out.
It's not really. That's not a good lesson.
No,
it's like acceptance of yourself and like actually people like accepting you for who you are and not just like I guess you're fine.
Yeah.
Like they're not even like.
And that's not the lesson at the end of the day.
They're all out for their own interior mode. Like, they're only out for themselves. They're all very selfish beings on this Christmas farm or whatever it's called.
Christmas farm, better term, yeah. So we find out that Yukon's not really dead because something hammers on the door and he's like, "Let me in! There's a goddamn snowstorm out here, goddammit!" It's also Wilford Brimley. So then
he was like, "And I have a beast with me."
Yeah, he brings in the Bumble. He's like, no, I've tamed the damn thing, but she can be useful. So he's tall, and he can put the star on top of the tree, and they all are like, whoa, he can...
But I think but it's like kind of funny, because I feel like Bumble's like, oh, they accept me now. Like, oh. And I think he's just a misunderstood big, like, oaf, and I like him. All right?
Again, to your point, Rachel, another lesson to be learned here is... You may be different and a freak, but if you have some
useful.
sort of value to us, then we'll accept you.
Then we care about you. It's very sad.
That's the lesson.
I don't like it.
No, it's not a very good lesson.
I don't like those lessons.
So we get a quick montage of Santa getting ready. He's stressed out again. Mrs. Claus is trying to fatten him up again this year, and he has to check the list twice and everything, but... He looks at the weather report and he goes, I don't think I can do it, Mama. I don't think that we can go out in this snowstorm. I'm going to tell everyone that Christmas is canceled. Which I would think that he
canceling Christmas. Which, like, the weather is only bad in one spot.
Maybe it's a worldwide snowstorm.
Oh, it's a worldwide.
Maybe he can't take off.
Are we going into, like, an apocalyptic? Oh,
maybe
that's true,
he can't
too.
take off.
Yeah, you're right. That's going to be the issue.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
he can't get out of the North Pole. Yeah, that's fair to your point. The other point I wanted is like, I'll get on the red phone and I have to start calling the world leaders, Mama, so that I can tell them all that,
Right?
that Christmas is canceled. Because how's anybody going to find out about this?
That's right. I mean, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. If you wake up on Christmas morning and there are no presents under the tree from Santa, you're going to have a fucking riot on your hands. There
my
are going to
God,
be children
burning down
burning
everything.
cities. Which also would be a fun way to take this. Where you're like,
Oh my God. Everybody's on the naughtiness list next year because they all freaked out this year.
So Robot Chicken, you can also do that skit if you'd like.
Comes Mad Max. They're all like on like toys that they've
It's like
fixed
Children of the
together,
Corn.
and
We
they're all
murdered all
flying.
of the bears.
They're all driving to Santa.
Yeah, they're all
like,
driving to the North
We're coming
Pole.
for you.
Where's our fucking presents, you fat bastard? He's not even fat. We've been lied to our whole
Did you see
lives.
he's skinny? The hell have you been doing up here?
So what actually happens is that Santa is about to tell everyone that they can't do Christmas this year. And Rudolph, because he hasn't learned to control his mutant powers, because he hasn't made his way to the Xavier Institute yet, his nose is just going off because he's emotional. And Santa's
Right.
like, would you turn the nose down? We get
Yeah,
it.
he's like, oh,
we let
for
you
the
back
love of
in.
gosh.
I can't even talk over it because it's so loud.
It's so bright.
And then he gets the idea of, oh, maybe he can guide my sleigh tonight.
That's right.
God damn it. So then, fine.
He even asks him in the rhyme, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
Yes.
Quiet. I've got some bad news, folks. Christmas is going to be canceled. There's nothing I can do. This weather. Yeah. Rudolph, please. Could you tone it down a bit? I mean, that nose of yours. That nose. That beautiful, wonderful nose.
Huh?
What I'm trying to say is, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
It will be an honor, sir.
Even though I don't really know how to
And
fly.
I'd be like, screw you.
Yeah, I wanted him to do.
Yeah, he doesn't fly home. You know what? He should have flown home.
Yes.
I feel like that would have been a better like way of him getting back too.
And it would have shown us that like he's taught himself how to
learned
fly.
things.
Yeah.
Right.
That would have been better if it was like that episode of The Simpsons where they bring the waste management head back after Homer screws everything up, and he goes, I'm a man of few words. This is all your fault. You're all in the like you have to all figure this out for yourself. Screw you. And he just leaves.
Yes.
Right.
Right. Well, because like to your point, again, they're only accepting Rudolph because it's like, oh wait, you're actually
because he's useful. Yeah. Yeah. It's
ridiculous.
it makes
you
sense.
want me to be here
Hold
now?
on.
Oh, I get it.
It all kind of makes sense when you put it from the standpoint of Rudolph is a mascot for a department store. So
Oh,
he
100%.
is a machine of, consumerism here, if you want to take it that
fine.
direction.
Whatever.
So we get a montage sung by Burl Ives. He's singing "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas." And as much as I think that this is too long, the song's really
good
good.
song. I really
it's
like that
really
song.
fun, and it's
And it's just a
always on during the
montage.
year. Yeah.
Everybody's just getting ready for Christmas once again. Santa gets fat
And-
again.
Yeah.
In one night, he becomes like just fat.
I do like.
I guess because he's not stressed out anymore. He's like, oh, okay, everything's working out. We're fine.
Well, she inflated him, Rachel. She's an inflation fetus and a chubby
Oh,
chaser.
gotcha. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So yes, there's
I
this.
need to
there's
know
this
less.
Fat Santa design though pretty good. They even like fattened his head up a little
Oh
bit.
yeah. Well, because you get those nice round rosy cheeks when you're Santa.
Lets
too.
me rosy up those cheeks. She like puts some makeup on him and stuff too.
It is all a bunch of. It's a farce. She's decorating him too. It's not even like Kiss from the snow. It's
Nope.
That's not why his cheeks
It's
are
all-
red.
it's
It's
all
because
a
she
farce.
put blush on him.
It's
oh
all
my
just
god!
it's all just a fucking act.
So disappointed.
He takes off. I was a little disappointed that he doesn't do the on Dasher on Dancer thing. I know
Yes.
that's another poem, but like you still could have done that.
Oh yeah.
And then said on Rudolph at the end or something.
And
like
take
that.
us to the sky, like
Yeah.
something silly.
Yukon Cornelius is outside. He sees them off, and Cornelius throws the pickaxe and he goes, "Peppermint."
Peppermint! What I've been searching for all my life! I've struck it rich! I've got me a peppermint mine! Wahoo!
I love that. I did like that. Look, I like peppermint, so I agree. You found a peppermint mine. It's great.
I'm not a big peppermint fan, so Cornelius won't probably be getting a lot of my
I'll
my
be eating those
service.
candy canes. I like those candy canes.
There's nothing wrong with a candy cane. I prefer like a
That's
fruity
peppermint.
candy cane.
I
No,
don't
I like
no,
the
give me
flavored
peppermint
ones.
ones.
All
No,
right,
no.
fine, whatever. I mean, they're fine. I'm fine with a pepper. I'm fine with a candy cane. I'm thinking like you put peppermint in something. It's a very strong.
Oh, but I do like a
dish.
peppermint hot chocolate. You put the peppermint in like I like peppermint.
Last
I
year,
like it.
last year we
Look.
tried to make peppermint bunts.
Oh
and
yeah,
they were
you
disgusting.
guys told me about that. Yeah.
Dad didn't even eat it, so it was not good.
What does that tell you?
So what does that tell you? So Rachel, I don't know if the version that you watched had this next little bit. I assume it did. Of the island of misfit toys
Oh,
being
yes.
picked up
Yes.
was not in the original 1964 broadcast. These people did not
They
think
forgot about that?
to come back to the misfit toys.
Or did they just cut it? Did they just cut this? They're like, no,
No,
we don't need
th-
this.
According to Wikipedia and a couple of different articles that I found, they just didn't think about it because the Island Misfit Toys was
'Cause they're
again
not
this
useful.
padding.
Because they're not useful. They're going to throw them away anyway.
Kids wrote letters into the network saying, "Why didn't the Island of Misfit Toys find homes?" Because
Sad.
you hear Santa say something about like, "We'll pick up the toys on the way" or whatever, but they never
Yes.
see that. So they added this animation, which you can tell it looks slightly different in
Yes.
this scene. To the naked eye, it doesn't, but when you
It's
know
also
that,
really
then you can
sad.
see. You think so? They pick them up.
Well, I mean, I guess they're just having a bonfire. I was just kind of thinking like they don't even have homes like on this
They
island.
have homes. Aslan's got homes for them, I think.
I
think
guess
they're
that's
all
probably
just-
true.
Yeah.
But they're just sitting around a fire, so it kind of makes it look a little sadder because I can't tell if they're just having like a nice bonfire on Christmas or if they're just like, this is the only way we can keep warm. So
They're
that's
like
that's my
bums
only
around
point.
a trash can.
And that's my only point. It just seemed kind of sad. But yes, they do get picked up, but that's the happy part.
They get picked up, and then the ending credits is they take off again. So then the real ending of the show is Santa being like, "Okay, Rudolph, we're all packed up. Let's head on out." And they take off. And then the end credits, or over the end credits, is the elves dropping the misfit toys, presumably into homes. Because like they found homes for all of the toys.
Right.
I like the glow in this scene too, and that's why it's like, really,
I don't
this
get to
was
see
what
this
was
part.
added? Because you don't get to see this part?
Not the
Oh,
end
not the end credits. No, I'm talking about before that. Like, as they're taking off, the glow that Rudolph's
Oh,
nose
yeah,
gives
like,
off,
it's,
that's
like,
like the
really
only time you ever
colorful.
see that. So, like, if that wasn't in
It's
the
very
original
pretty.
broadcast, it's like, why wouldn't that have been? It's like,
Yeah.
it gives this nice glow. So, Sam says, that's the end of our story. He starts singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer again, and we get the end credits of them dropping the toys. And that is the end of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes.
Ugh.
It was a whole journey.
That was a journey. I hope that this hot chocolate lets my mouth or my throat stay good tomorrow. So, Rachel, we've come to that point of the show, as we did with The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And I will ask you, does Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from 1964, written by Romeo Muller and directed by Larry Romer, the Rankin and Bass classic that everyone agrees that they all love, have shelf life?
So, my thoughts.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Uh, I do enjoy the artistic style of like doing the claymation and like the stop motion. That's really fun. And some of the designs of some of the characters are really nice. Some of them are a little weird. I really like Yukon and his pack of dogs. They're great. Everybody's really mean, and I don't like that. The message that we were talking about, that turns me completely off. Yeah. For me, I have nostalgia, but it's not like good nostalgia for this one because I have always remembered Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as being the like
As the noise.
show,
Yeah.
the noise, and I never
All the
liked
noise.
Okay, look, don't bring back that I'm the Grinch, okay?
You know what though?
But I think I'm gonna have to be a Grinch here.
Okay. You're saying
and
no.
say it's
not on the
not
shelf?
on my shelf. No.
Not in the box. Nothing like that.
I don't even know if I would put it in the box.
Okay.
Maybe just for Yukon and the Bumble.
I was gonna make a joke that the Grinch would have been pretty justified if he was the neighbors to Christmas Town and not Whoville.
Ooh.
Because if
makes
he
more
didn't
sense.
like Christmas because these people were jerks, it would have made a lot of
Wait a
sense.
minute. Honestly, though, what if he's actually the monster they all think hates Christmas and they are actually afraid of, and they keep thinking it's the Mr. Bumble, but it's not. It's actually
really
the
the
Grinch.
Grinch.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Really makes you think.
Anyways,
Okay.
Kevin, what are your thoughts? I want to put it in the box. I feel
Don't
I'm on the
don't
fence
do
on
it.
that.
Don't do it out of
okay.
pressure.
I'm sorry. Just for
Don't
Mr.
do it because
Bumble
the
and
folks at home
Yukon.
want to do it for pressure.
My dog has
So-
a cute Mr. Bumble, so I have to like be on the side of Mr. Bumble and
You
Yukon.
can like the characters and still. Okay, so here's my thing. I know what Rachel and I just spent 3 hours taking the piss out of some people's favorite Christmas shows, and that's
Oh, and
that's
it
our
can be,
show.
of
That's what we
course.
do. Having fun with this stuff. And,
Oh,
and it is campy. It's from the fucking 60s. As I told you offline, Rachel, I had a really hard time getting through this one.
I know.
Like, it's up there with The Holiday and Phantom Menace for me as, like, being tough to watch.
Phantom Menace was the hardest one for me so far, so I had to watch that twice. That I still was confused.
I did not like this at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I can admire the effort it takes to put together the
Yes,
stop motion.
Absolutely.
I'm not a big stop motion fan. I think that the Burl Ives songs are good, and I think those can definitely come back. I like Holly Jolly Christmas, and Silver
Of
and Gold is
course.
fine too. And of course, him singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer will always be a hit. But for me, I'm sure I had nostalgia for this. Like I said, there's a VHS tape of this somewhere at Mom and Dad's that
course.
I either taped or someone taped for me, and that's how I watched Rudolph every year. And probably more than every year. It was probably more than that. If you're someone that like raves about it being a holiday classic, that's fine. Like it's your holiday classic. I'm not gonna besmirch you for
Oh, of course
liking
not.
something that's considered a classic. But what I will say is if you haven't watched it since you were a kid and you're like, how dare you say it's not on the shelf? Because that's where I'm going with this. It's not on the shelf. It's not in the box. It's not on the shelf. It's bad. I don't like it. I think it is actually not good. I think it's padded to hell. I think there's stuff in
Yeah.
it that doesn't matter. I think that the message is bad. The character development is non-existent, and then it just
Non-existent.
happens.
Oh, that too with Rudolph. What the heck?
Yeah.
That annoyed me.
And I get it. It's a cartoon from the 60s, or animation from the 60s. It's not going to have that necessarily, but the Grinch does. The Grinch
Right,
has
at
a
least
beginning,
he
middle,
has a
end,
reason.
and yeah, and it has character arcs, and this doesn't really have that. But if you haven't seen this since you were a kid, and you're like, how could you say that? I don't know if I would tell you to go back and watch it, because I think your nostalgia goggles. Maybe you have enough nostalgia that it would be fine, and you'd still say, no, this is great, I love it.
Sure.
But I feel like you might come back to it and be like, oh, it
it
is
has
bad.
flaws.
Yeah.
You know.
And I don't
at
want to
least
do
it has
that.
Some flaws.
Yeah, I don't want to do that to anyone. I want you to just have fun with us, kind of
And
making
you can
fun
still,
of it.
Of course, you can still enjoy it. We're not trying to ruin anything for you.
I'm never
Enjoy
trying to
your
ruin
show.
anything for anyone. I want everybody to enjoy
No.
everything that we cover. I'm just giving my opinion,
Absolutely.
which is I think this is a bad
Which is also the
show.
truth.
Which is the
Yes.
truth, of course. Because our word is truth.
That's right.
I actually think, Rachel, and I know what I'm about to say is sacrilegious. I kind of want to see somebody redo this as a movie. You can leave the plot points in, and I think if you did it as an 80-minute movie and you actually had structure that focused on Rudolph, get rid of Aslan, get rid of the elf songs, get rid of some of this stupid crap, and make it a almost Simba-esque coming-of-age story so that he has a reason to go back home, so that you focus in on Donner and Clarice and Mrs. Donner going out to find him. Some of that stuff, if you expanded on it, this all could work. I just don't think it does. I think that it's just... I don't think it works very
falls
well.
because everybody's just so mean.
And
they just
everyone
don't
is so
care.
mean. Yeah. It's a very bitter show, really.
It's bitter. They like you can be mean, but they don't learn anything. There isn't like a good lesson learned, and I feel like that's what's missing from something that is like this. It needs to have that good lesson learned arc. It just doesn't, it's just not there, and it should be. That's what this is for.
Yeah.
This is actually for, buying presents at Christmas from a store.
It's actually for buying presents at Montgomery Ward, but...
But not knowing that's where it came from, you'd look at this and say it needs to have that, holiday spirit of learning a lovely lesson and everybody being happy at the end of the day. I feel like everybody's just kind of like, yeah, we're all
everybody happy. I'm with you, though, on the character of Yukon Cornelius. I really like the character. I like the design of Rudolph.
I like his little family. Yeah, Rudolph's design is very cute.
Having, a little stuffed Rudolph or something like that. I'm not saying, any of that stuff is... because it's just part of the culture. So that's what makes it tough, because, our mission here, Rachel, is to go through the list of everything and tell the folks at home and ourselves whether or not something belongs on the shelf for posterity reasons, to keep it within our zeitgeist and to go over it, to tell everyone the stories, to preserve them, what have you. So I think it's worth preservation from a cultural standpoint.
Sure. I think for an art standpoint, sure, as well.
But
I still think the story is not right.
I'm not going to put it on the
wrong.
shelf or the box, because for me it just isn't there at all. So cross off Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from the list. It is not on the shelf, which I'm sure is painful for a lot of people to hear. But it's, that's the way it goes. I feel kind of bad being bitter about that.
I feel bad, but I feel like we're right that the story just doesn't fit. If it was a story,
I let Night of the Living Sean or and then there was Sean on the shelf. But I'm not letting Rudolph on the shelf. But I think that Night of the Sean is... and then there was Sean is more fun. I think Haunted Mask is more fun. I think the Grinch is more fun, if we're just talking our holiday specials that we've done.
Sure. It's understandable. I think it's fine. Don't feel bad. This is just your opinion. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm still in the holiday spirit, even after
absolutely.
talking about it. I think talking about it and taking the piss out of it and just having fun with it.
Spirit.
Yeah, was part of having fun with the holidays.
Exactly.
You don't have to. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be serious. Have some lighthearted fun, for God's sakes.
Absolutely. Yeah, for Christmas sake, or whatever.
For Christmas sake. For holiday's sake.
Well, the fire is starting to die down here. We've been talking for a while. I've lost my voice screaming about the Grinch and Donner and Yukon, and I guess the holidays are almost here, over, or upon us. So, Rachel, we should let everyone know, and we should make everyone aware. People that are finding us for the first time and are going, my God, I'm never going to listen to them again. They didn't put Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on their shelf.
You know what? That's okay. Listen to us out of spite. Give us those numbers.
Absolutely listen to us out of spite.
Tell us we're wrong. I want to hear it.
And give us a 5-star review for being so good in our dissection, even though you disagree with our opinion. I listen to podcasts all the time that I disagree with their opinions.
Oh,
My favorite podcasts, I have completely different taste than them. Completely different. But I still listen to them because I think they do a good job. So, Rachel, we have other holiday treats for those that might be new or to those that might be finding us to find the backlog. As of this recording, we currently have a list of a few different holiday episodes that we've done. We have The Simpsons Roasting on Open Fire, the first episode of The Simpsons we covered. Mm-hmm. We covered Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh from South Park Season 1. If the shortcut isn't out for that yet, you can find that in South Park Season 1, Part 4. Along with Starvin' Marvin, if you're into Thanksgiving or anything else, and Damien is in that one too. But you can find the time code on it. It's the second episode that we cover in that particular episode. And we also covered Rachel's favorite romantic comedy, The Holiday.
Yes. Yes. Honestly, funny episode. Enjoyable.
A pretty... if I say so myself, a pretty good episode.
I'll pat myself on the back for that one.
Classic.
We have classics ourselves, and you know what? The Holiday by Shelf Life is on the shelf.
Do we have anything else, Rachel? I think that's pretty much our holiday themed. Small Soldiers is about toys. You could listen to Small Soldiers
during winter.
For toys.
It is about Christmas because that's when.
It's not about Christmas. It's like fall.
It's at Christmas time, though, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
No. But there are toys. Some people watch Star Wars around the holidays because some of them, I don't know what the connection is there, but Phantom Menace we did. So if you want something like that. Maybe
one day we'll do Chewbacca Christmas.
Maybe one day we'll do a very Chewbacca Christmas. I think that's it for now, but I'm sure there'll be a ton more in the future. We plan to do more. We actually plan to do this every year. We like doing these little holiday specials, so of course we will continue to do those because we think they're fun. And some years we will do more of these kind of holiday specials. Some years we'll do like we did for Halloween, where we're going to pick some different television shows that have holiday themed episodes, and we'll just kind of see what comes up. Maybe we'll do some comic books that are holiday themed because there are Christmas specials of a lot of comic books that we could do as well.
And if there's suggestions, we can always take
suggestions.
Those into
Definitely take that. Yeah, we want suggestions.
Mind.
We want to hear back from you. We want to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah,
we want to hear if you, and we definitely want you to rate, review, subscribe,
share
everything.
With your friends.
Share with your friends, your enemies, your dogs, your cats, your children, your grandparents, your parents, your cousins,
your mailman.
The mailman, the milkmaid, your dentist.
The dentist.
I want you to listen to Shelf Life.
The Grinch on the top of the hill. Make sure he knows about Shelf Life.
Definitely make sure he knows about Shelf Life. It helps the show. It helps us grow. Rachel and I do this absolutely for fun currently, but it would be better if
I'd like it to stay that way.
Well, the more, yeah, me too. But the more
we want to be able to share it with you guys, and it's a lot of fun.
And the more people are listening, then the more it'll feel fulfilling for us as we spend hours.
And the more we can do it.
This. And the more we will be able to do it, the more that people listen and stuff like that too. So definitely rate, review, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I don't say that often because I don't like begging for that, because I always feel awkward saying it, especially when like our mentors in this Red Letter Media, like they never say that kind of stuff, but they just are happy with who they are, just like we are.
Yeah.
But just in case you want to, for sure, tell people about the podcast. And above all, have a very happy holidays. I guess we have to go to bed actually because Santa's coming tomorrow, and
yeah, obviously we gotta get to sleep.
Are
he
you
knows.
leaving the milk and cookies out, or?
Oh yeah, I can take care of it. That's fine.
Because we kind of ate all of the cookies, so I think you need to make some more.
Well, we also have I have to make more. Oh my god!
Just don't make it. No, don't make more. No, just leave him. Just leave him like a bag of chips or something. He gets cookies from every fucking person.
That's
like
true.
maybe
we
something
do something
different would be good. Yeah,
yeah.
A donut.
I mean, I'll make sure to have.
Oh,
we might have donuts.
Bagel?
Yeah.
You could have a bagel.
I also have some carrots and apple slices for the reindeer. So
yeah, you never know if Rudolph will show up.
Yeah.
If it's a foggy night. Yes, a very happy holidays to you and yours, from our family to yours, as a brother and sister team. Make sure that you're spending time with your families or your loved
with
ones,
the Shelf Life
your
family.
friends, and turn on Shelf Life for them. Turn on a good episode of Shelf Life during the holidays. With that being said, I've been Kevin.
And I'm Rachel.
And this has been a very merry Shelf Life. We will see you next time. Happy holidays, everyone.
And Kwanzaa. And Hanukkah.
Oh, here she goes. She's going to list them all
And
off.
Christmas. And Yule.
Good night, Rachel.
And Boxing Day. Nicholas Day. Immaculate Conception Day. Feast Day of Our Lady of Day.
I'm busy, Mama. It's almost Christmas.
Who ever heard of a skinny Santa? Eat, eat.